Good afternoon. Welcome to the Clear as Mud podcast. Today, I'm joined by Seth
Hello.
and Gigi Hartz.
Hey, hey.
And of course, you know who I am, Peepaw Riveter.
Yeah, everyone knows who
Everybody
Riveter is.
knows. Yeah, well, and who is
You
it constantly?
narcissist?
Who is it constantly coming at me saying, Peepaw, please retweet my tweet. Peepaw, like my tweet. Peepaw, Peepaw, Peepaw.
Okay, just because you have more clout than me doesn't mean that you need to, be a narcissist about it. Okay, that means nothing. More clout than me just means you have 200 followers, people.
I don't
Look.
know, Seth. You do seem to really want Peepaw's clout, so I don't know that you can make both of these claims right now.
So listen, guys,
No,
let me just say this. If you're following me on Twitter, please, please, please go follow. I want Seth to have more followers on me than Twitter so that I don't get constant tweets and DMs saying, Peepaw, go like this. Peepaw, please retweet my tweet. I need your clout, Peepaw. I want her to have the clout so that I can just go about doing my thing. Okay? So please, would you do that?
If I was in your position, people, I'd be happy to give you clout.
But here's the thing: I don't seek clout. I don't care anything about it. But you guys that care about it, I want you guys to have all the clout. I want you to have big bowls of clout that you get to eat every day and chew on. That's what I want for you, Seth. I want you to have all the clout. I want you to have mountains and mountains. I want you to have so much clout that it surpasses, the tallest mountains in that we know about in the world. That's what I want you. I want you to have more clout. I want it to be taller than Mount Everest. That's how much clout I want you to have.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Finally, someone sees and gets like what I deserve. It feels so good.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So sadly, guys, today we've got to talk about something just real briefly. I want to make mention of this. Back in December, over on my morning channel, my Coffee with People show that I do, I brought to you guys a story about this young boy by the name of Captain Corey. He was a young man who had a terminal illness. We started talking about him back in December. His whole goal was he wanted to be like, his goal was to get like to 10,000 subs on YouTube. He wanted the play button, so forth. His channel actually got terminated briefly, but YouTube corrected it, got it back. We got his channel back, whatever. Sadly, his mother put out a tweet today saying that young Corey had passed away. And as a parent, I cannot fathom what this mother is going through, even though I'm sure she knew that it was inevitable, but as a parent, you eternally hope for some sort of miracle to come through. The videos and stuff that I watched of Captain Corey, he was always just a loving, full of life young boy who just loved pirates and stories about pirates and the whole deal. He got to interact with Johnny Depp, of course, the most famous pirate, right? Captain Jack Sparrow. So his channel right now currently has 204,000 subscribers. So, and you see just a sweet, sweet boy. My condolences, our condolences goes out to Captain Corey and his mother and family and friends. And I wish them nothing but the best. I hope that Captain Corey has many adventures upon the high seas. In his next adventure, in his next journey in this world. So, anyway, and on that note, let's get into shitting on iDubbbz.
Okay, yeah.
How do you segue?
Please.
I don't know how you segue, right? I don't know how you segue or something like that. But I just wanted to take a few minutes, and I did want to send condolences, and because I had been following that story and following Captain Corey since back in December when I first learned about him. And like I said, I send my utmost heartfelt, to the family and friends, and I hope that they're able to get through this time of grief. So,
yep.
Yeah, I don't know
so
there's
yeah,
a lot to say about that, really, other than
okay, yeah. R.I.P. bro. Rest in peace.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about Ian iDubbbz, Mr. Poopy Pants, evidently. God, what a fucking thing.
No.
So iDubbbz here puts out this video this past week where he comes on. He is.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Okay. We got a donation here. It says, JFA says $20, says, yo ho ho. Rest in peace, Captain Corey, bravest pirate on YouTube. 100%. 100%. JFA. Thank you for that.
I can't believe JFA said something nice.
Well, JFA has his moments. I mean, he's not always a complete and total asshole, but he has his moments, and JFA has always been a huge supporter of this this channel, this supporter.
Nigeria in chat again.
Yeah, that's fine. He can type Nigeria all he wants to. So
okay, fine.
Anyway, but
he's just doing his part to make us aware of the great country of Nigeria.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thanks.
So anyway, he puts out this video. Let's listen to the first little bit of this because, we have a member of the cast that when all this stuff started kind of breaking loose with iDubbbz and people were kind of shitting on him because of the whole Creator Clash 2, that host, co-host, kind of was in Ian's or iDubbbz's corner. Was kind of.
So I'm gonna be honest, people. I am. Okay, let me be real for a second. Let me
be real, baby. Bring it to me.
I'm pulling off the mask. Okay.
Pull the mask off.
Wait, no, Seth can't go mask off. We still want to be on YouTube. Off. No. You can put down the clown nose.
It's a good kind of mask off. Okay.
Okay.
In my private life, I will always be like this. I will always give the benefit of the doubt to the person, and I think that there's probably more that meets the eye to iDubbbz's situation and everything that's going on, and I just can't look at it as like black and white like Banana does, where he's like, oh, they're all like monsters or whatever. So I still actually kind of have the same belief, but for the sake of the person that I am online, I realized that that's not really, that doesn't make content, and it also isn't logical. So I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, so just let's expand on that for a second. I am an eternal optimist, right? I always believe in giving people second, hell, third, even fourth chances sometimes, right? Because I believe that people are essentially decent people. Sometimes they've just kind of forgotten how to be decent, right? Because they get into these ruts of making bad choices, life choices. And sometimes the people around them will not allow them to change who they are, right? Because they want them to be a bad person, right? They want them to remain being these evil little troglodytes that we can just shit all over, right? Because there's a quote a nature, or there's a familiarity with just keeping these people down, right? So I don't have a problem whatsoever, Seth, with you being eternally optimistic and thinking, okay, iDubbbz is a good person. Okay. He may very well be a decent soul, right? The problem with it is, and I'm all for giving the man a second chance or so forth. The problem is this really iDubbbz that's the issue here? Or is it because of the people that he has around him in his ears that he's listening to that's causing him to make bad choices that is impacting him personally and professionally? When I say professionally, I'm talking about his online persona, his online, career, if you will. I don't know. And that's kind of what we're going to look at and get into, right? Is this a deal where, Ian is a decent guy and he just got he just got some bad influences around him, or is he just starting to believe and smell his own farts and thinks that it's good? I don't know.
I mean, it can be good if you think about it.
Sure.
I have
Jenkem is pretty epic.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
I have a
go on.
I would like to point out that we behind the scenes recently had a conversation about what would happen if we were able to get members. So if you guys aren't subscribed, it's a good time to subscribe. And when Peepaw came to Seth and I both decided that we wanted whatever our portion would be to also go towards the philanthropic efforts that Peepaw already does. Therefore, we can say that we have donated as much money to charity as a multi-million-dollar event such as Creator Clash 2.
I don't know if it counts as charity to give retards online equipment. I think that's actually evil. I think we're doing evil things, people.
Why? Why do you think that's evil?
I don't know. Some of these people probably shouldn't have a microphone.
All right. Granted that you're right. There's probably some people that really should not have access to technology because they really don't need to be online.
Speaking of which, Jack Johnson isn't waiting to call.
Okay, I don't know who Jack Johnson is, but he's going to have to wait.
Thank God you don't.
He's going to have to, he, she, they, them, it, whatever. Jack's going to have to wait. But here's the thing. We cannot be arbiters of saying, well, this person deserves it or this person does not deserve it, right? Because we have the whole thing of the philosophy of behind my philanthropy is if there's a need out there, and if the person will use it and it not just sit idle and collect dust, then that's the prerequisite. I don't necessarily have to agree with what the people say. They can be one of the biggest detractors of me, of Seth, of Gigi, any of the other supporters of that philanthropy project. That's fine. That does not automatically disqualify them from being recipients of that fund.
I'm just saying it should.
But okay, but here's the thing too, right? But then it becomes a popularity thing, right? Oh, I like this person, so I am going to be benevolent and give this like Santa Claus to somebody. Yeah, what's wrong with
that, baby?
No, that's not how. That's not how I wanted it to work. So,
oh look, I'm people. I am so giving and nice and awesome and. I do the right thing. Look at me.
Seth, do you ever wonder why maybe you don't have a bigger following?
No.
Okay.
That's a very big following. I don't know what you're talking about. Most people don't do it publicly for reasons.
Yeah, for real.
I wonder why.
I'm quite popular. You just don't know it. No one's willing to say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Also, I'm lazy and I'm a slob.
Okay, so this Jack person, I don't know them, Seth, so you talk like you do. Do we want to have a conversation with him before we ever get into this? Or what?
He's never going to say anything relevant about the subject, so just strike him in now.
All right, Jack, Seth has really kind of poo-pooed on you, so you're going to get a few seconds here. Make it good, or you're going to get nuked. 4, 3,
I told you.
2, 1. Goodbye, Jack.
Boom.
That's
Tommy
awesome.
C.
That's
Kaboom.
awesome.
So,
he makes like thumbnails and shit for and edits and shit.
we call it right back. All right, Jack, you're going to get a second shot. Don't blow it. All right,
Could
Jack.
your dad walk into the room again, Jack?
Yes, hi.
All right, Jack. So what's on your mind, son?
Yeah, I think Anisa sucks, but like says sucks even more.
Okay, why don't you learn to speak? Dude, your accent is... I can't even tell what you just said, Jack. I just know it was scathing.
He said Anisa sucks, but you sucked more. Even I understood that.
I said,
At least I'm good at sucking.
Oh, okay.
yeah, you suck a lot.
Yeah, for
Like-
real, Jack. Get your
So
fucking
real.
15-year ass, the old ass out of here.
No, I'm staying. Fuck you.
Don't you have some editing and thumbnails to do for other people?
Yeah, but I'm taking a break now. I'm on my editor break.
You're on your editor break.
So let me ask you a question, Jack. Did you see today's thumbnail for today's stream?
Yeah, did you, Jack? You think that one's... Actually, I can't say that because he does make
I've been
phenomenal
molding.
thumbnails.
So
I make the best thumbnails.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who do you make
Yeah.
thumbnails for, Jack?
For Toxic and now recording in general whenever they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy
like
you
the-
don't know who this guy is, people. He's mad famous.
Is
Wait, are
he?
you
Yeah.
saying, Seth, you said that Jack Johnson was 15 and he makes thumbnails for Now Recording. Does that mean that Now Recording employs minors? Ooh, cancel them.
Ooh.
DMax, get in here and answer
Oh.
for this.
I don't know.
So are you really 15 years old, Jack?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I mean, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he
All
sounds
right.
15. He sounds
All right.
real 15.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
listen, Jack, have a great day. Thanks for calling in, and we'll talk to you later, bud.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. You suck, Death.
Yeah, fuck you, Jack Johnson. Shut up, Jack
Fuck
Johnson.
you. Fuck you.
I'm gonna, like, decapitate a squirrel and then feed its brains to you. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into this. So iTubs put out a video. iTubs put out a video earlier
Did you
this
say
week.
iTubs?
I mean,
That
whatever.
sounds like you're calling him fat, dude. That's crazy.
He's a fat head. How about that?
Yo.
So let's listen to what iDubbbz had to say here.
Hello, everyone. I have some bad news to share with you. I really don't want to share it. I feel terrible. This year has been a rough one, but this is the path that I chose, so I think it's best to be transparent. For Creator Clash 2, despite it being a fun event and despite good fights and a lot of creators sacrificing a lot of time, money, and energy, we lost $250,000 on the event.
I just did.
I'm sorry, what was that, Seth?
Did you hear that monster burp I just did?
Yes, Seth, we all heard it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was awesome. Okay, continue.
So he's announcing here that he lost $250,000.
This is an excellent freeze frame you just did, Peapod. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just a
Look at
dare.
this fucking dead-eyed, fish-eyed, fucking, cross-eyed motherfucker here.
So anyway, they lost $250,000. Now, how do we get into that? Okay, so he blames piracy.
See, that was your transition. Piracy.
There you
Peapod
go.
missed it.
Piracy, yes. Everybody was pirating. I want to just publicly say that this event did actually get money to charities. Okay. And I think that's kind of been overlooked. There was one charity, and I don't remember the name of it. As part of the whole deal, they received $100,000 that was guaranteed. That the part of this event, they were guaranteed $100,000, and they did receive it. Also, I can tell you that the American Cancer Society received $50 from me, because I think that was even more than what would have cost me for the pay-per-view that I donated once they booted Froggy Fresh from the card, because quite honestly, that was the only reason why I was going to watch it, because I wanted to watch Froggy box. So, you know, so the American Heart Cancer Foundation, rather, did receive $50. So there was, you know, there was some money that the charities did receive. So he took a lot of slams because of this video, right? And the excuses and stuff that he put forth. We're not going to watch all the video. If you guys want it, there's other people that's covered it and so forth. But I just want to go there where he announced that, you know, he lost $250,000. So why is that? Why did he lose this amount of money? Why all of a sudden did he only get, according to his reporting in that video, they only received half of the support as far as pay-per-view buys and attendance and stuff? Why was there such a huge decline? Was it solely because of the Froggy Fresh situation? Was it because they weren't really out here marketing it? They weren't hyping it? I saw very, very little interaction whatsoever about the event, other than after the Froggy Fresh situation blew up. Then you've seen people like Epic Eats, Harley Morristein, out here battling people, getting into these Twitter spaces, you know, doing his just rants about this and that and else, telling people that they didn't know what he was talking about. So, guys, do you have any speculations whatsoever on why you think the support fell off for iDubbbz?
I honestly don't really know, but I will say this: I knew when the first one took place, and I watched that, and I didn't watch the second one, and I can't tell you why, but I assume that's like just how most people felt. So I'm guessing it's marketing.
I would say I would say marketing probably came in was partly to play. I would agree with that, Seth. No. What do you think?
They probably thought the drama was enough to carry them.
So can I say, the first one, I feel like I somehow missed it despite spending my entire life on YouTube and despite watching many of the creators that were in the first one, but I did manage to watch the first one. And then for the second one, the only reason I heard about it was because of the Froggy Fresh thing, and then I didn't want to support it because of the Froggy Fresh thing. Yeah. Yeah. So it was it's definitely like the marketing on this sucked.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. Like it's weird. Like it's weird.
I would say that comments like this, that when he went out and did these podcasts prior to Creator Clash, after Creator Clash 1 and prior to Creator Clash 2, he went out and did these podcasts and stuff, right? And he was in this famous one here where he makes this comment about his fans.
Not like the interactions that I had with fans. There were quite a few human beings that I interacted with.
In person?
In person, that just sucked. Whoa. They just sucked because I attracted a lot of people who sucked. Some people were, as I described earlier, were very much like antisocial, weird basement dwellers. And, you know, the one time a month that they come out of their cave is going to restock on supplies at Walmart, and they run into me, their favorite YouTuber.
Okay. So if a creator that you look up to, that you like, that you enjoy his content, starts talking about you in this manner, how enthusiastic are you going to be to continue to support their endeavors?
say, first of all, I really resent this idea of the basement dwelling, like anti-social, because I am this person. I, generally speaking, choose not to leave my house as much as humanly possible. But I will be going to Dragon Con in September, and I'm very excited, where I will get to hang out with other
What is
basement dwellers.
dragging these nuts across your face, Gigi?
Dragon Con. Anyways,
Well, yeah, what's that?
it's like the largest fan-run convention in the country. It takes place in Atlanta. Last year, it had 85,000 attendants.
Fans of what? Dragons?
No, like sci-fi, Star Trek.
It's
anime.
fantasy.
Oh,
Like it's,
okay.
it's everything. It's everything.
Nerd shit, for real.
Oh yeah, for reals. And yeah, it's gonna be me and hanging out with a bunch of basement dwellers. I feel like it's really, if he's had interactions with basement dwellers who suck. And listen, I had some amazing interactions at this convention, by which I mean you have to love when nerd guys are around nerd women and they want to try out every nerdy pickup line that they've been coming up with.
Oh,
and
God.
wow.
Oh my God, ain't no way you actually like that.
Listen, I was playing DDR with some guy who was dressed like one of the characters in Kingdom Hearts, and he turns to me and he goes, I think I saw you in a dream. And
oh no, the cringe is real, y'all.
everything
that sounds like DMax.
it took everything in me not to laugh in his face, because I was like, man, it took everything in him to give it a shot. So I'm gonna be as polite as possible and walk away. But my goodness. It was
How do you walk into a place like that and not like bully the fuck out of them?
Because I'm a nerd too. I mean,
But,
I think.
Okay, but why bully them?
I'm a firm believer in bullying. Okay, it will help a person grow, because if there's no repercussions for your weird social like interactions, then you won't know that it's weird and dumb. So that's why I bully people.
Okay, listen. I don't necessarily have a problem with bullying. Okay, I think bullying to a certain degree is a good thing, and it does help you build get tougher skin. Okay, I'm not against bullying. However, if you have people of like mind that's gathering together to celebrate their like-mindedness, as far as be it Star Trek or Star Wars or Kingdom Hearts or whatever it is that they're, that should be okay, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I used to play Magic the Gathering, and I would go and play in these tournaments and stuff. And let me just tell you something, right? Them some bitches stank because they didn't know what personal hygiene was.
Yeah, for real.
But I would still try. And the thing, you want to talk about social awkwardness? Holy shit, these guys wouldn't even look you in the eye. And I would sit there and start having conversations with these strangers, trying to. So I think there's a way of doing it, but in a way that helps them to understand that being so withdrawn or so just internalizing, it's okay to talk to people. It's okay to have conversations over a common thing. So there's a good way of doing it, rather than just go and just walk up and say, I'm like, God damn, son, do you not know what a soap and water is?
That's not fun for me.
Okay, but that, Gary, again, we have to go back to, I ask you, why do you think you don't have the clout that you so desire?
Because I'm lazy.
There you go.
It. That's all.
See, but I'm out here trying to make humankind better.
Yeah, and so am I. We just have different approaches.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
all right, so
what it is.
Anyway, so go ahead. I'm sorry, Gigi. Go ahead.
So
okay, hold up. No, hold up. Compassion is not maturity. That shit is homosexual and gay as fuck. If you show any kind of emotion, you're a 5-year-old.
No.
Of the year.
Okay, whatever.
So this convention that I attend, the whole point is to be with other basement dwellers in a safe space, Seth. But and I resent this idea that you're gonna have awful interactions. Like, yeah, I had some really cringy interactions with men. I have cringy interactions with men at Walmart too. At least in this case, they're dressed in a nice costume, and you know, we get to like have a Star Trek party and get real drunk and have a good time. So if he had negative interactions with people, I really feel like he went into those interactions expecting that. But like, it's his own feelings that his audience is like losers that's causing him to have those interactions. I'm sure if I went to Dragon Con and went, wow, look at all these losers enjoying video games and nerd shit, what fucking losers, I'm gonna have a terrible time, as opposed to if I just, you know, do what I did last year and put on some alien antlers or whatever I did and go have a good time. So I feel like, I don't know who he's referring to, but it just kind of seems like he sucks and he's
Well, maybe he's
projecting.
talking more about like the racist kind of basement dwellers, you know, like the you know, like the kind of like incel types, not the nerd types.
He didn't say that, and he could have.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's it. That's what I read into it. And I will say this.
But
I
why
like
not
those
say
better
that?
than nerds. I like those better than nerds.
But my point is, if I felt that way, if I was like, okay, if you follow me and you're a racist, a bigot, a misogynist, etc., and I don't like you for it, like nobody would have a problem. He's basically saying, if you're my fan, you're a loser, and for that reason, like, you disgust me. Like,
Yeah,
that's what it reads.
I'm not saying he handled that shit well. I'm just saying I think that's what he's trying to say.
I suppose.
You know?
So, anyway, you know, like I say, the video come out. You know, he kind of shielded his fans, whatever. Then Creator Clash 2 was a if you look at it solely from the standpoint of the fact that it did not raise money for these charities, it's an utter failure. 100% was an utter failure. Was there entertainment there? Sure. It seemed like people in the from clips and stuff that I saw, seemed like the fans that were in attendance enjoyed different parts of it. They got to see the different creators that they were there to cheer on or to jeer or whichever case might be. They had fun. They enjoyed it. So, but if you look at it solely from monetary reasons or from monetary aspect, it was a failure. It was a complete and total utter failure. So, but here begs the question, right? One of the things that he's been heavily criticized for was this, right? By creators such as Keemstar, right? And others, is that each one of these creators that were contracted to come in and do these boxing matches, each one of them received a $20,000 stipend to cover their expenses. Okay, so the question then begs is, if this was truly for the charities, right? If these creators were boxing for charities, then why were they not doing this on their dime versus Creator Clash giving them this stipend? I think that is a legitimate, logical question. And some argue, well, if they're doing this, then it impacts their ability to create. I disagree. Now, granted, some of these guys, you know, they might have to have shifted some of their content for a period of time. For example, they could have been doing blogs or vlogs or whatever of them training, putting up videos of them in the boxing ring, which guess what that would have done? Would have hyped the event. They could have done some videos and stuff where they were talking a little trash to their opponents. I didn't see any of that occurring either.
You just reminded me why I mentioned our whole philanthropic behind the scenes stuff, because we did that a while ago. We hadn't brought it up. We didn't bring it up because if we had brought it up, it would have been like, oh, you guys are doing this for clout.
Well, now we brought it up.
I know, but we're bringing it up because the point is that all of these other creators, aside from the $20,000 that they got to be in it, they also got clout. They also got people who now had the warm fuzzies for this creator. That has a monetary value to it that we are not considering here. Like, how many of these creators, like, people, the only thing they know about them is that they were in this charity boxing match. Although, can I say, was Michael Alberto in the first one? So I don't know that we can just say, like, arbitrarily the people in this are necessarily good people. But not that Michael Alberto is a bad person. I'm not sharing my opinion on that guy right now. But I'm just saying, like, they shouldn't have gotten the money because they were still getting the clout. And in the world of YouTube, in an attention economy, that has a monetary value well beyond $20,000 for such a major event.
Sure.
Especially for the smaller creators who are going to see like exponential growth. Like, if you already have 1 million plus, you might not get that much of a boost from this. But if you had like 100K and then you were in this level of an event, that's the potential of that is massive.
But again, like I said, they could still make content. They could put videos of stuff out of them training. They could, do videos about some changes that they've had to make in their day-to-day routines, as far as maybe eating habits, things like that, could inspire others of their fan base to make some positive changes in their lives as well. So what I'm saying is this giving $20,000 to each creator, I think, is money that could have been saved to go towards charity. Because if this was truly about charity, then that's where the focus should have been. So these guys should not have been receiving stipends. That's my opinion. Secondly, Ian goes on into the video and he discusses about how he did a after thing or whatever to allow people to process their emotions and the trauma. What trauma?
Huh?
What the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what that was about.
Because he was talking
trauma?
he said on the first, because he talks about it, he says,
like hip trauma or like
I guess of actually getting punched in the face, that kind of trauma.
Bro, dude, that is so.
Because he talked about on the first Creator Clash that when it was all set, we went up to the room, showered, whatever, came out, everybody was gone, and he was left there by himself to process the trauma. Like, so we had to put on and host an event afterwards for these creators. What they have, like, did they have in the therapy? What was that? What was the name of that online, that big Better Health? Well, they didn't bring the Better Health therapist in to help these people process the trauma they just experienced. Get the fuck out of here with that. How much money did that cost? How much did that event cost? Which then took away money that could have went towards charity. If the whole thing is the Creator Clash is for fundraising, then the whole purpose is you minimize your expenses so that you maximize the donations that you're able to extend to these charities. So instead, what did Ian do? He gave everybody $20,000. He gives them a percentage of the pay-per-view sales. Lamar tips $1. Please allow me in, people. All right, Lamar.
Ain't no way.
What's up, Lamar? You got something to say?
Why couldn't you wait like a good boy?
Fuck you. Either way. So I totally agree. I can definitely see where you're coming from, Riveter, where it's like, yeah, you raise all this money just to like donate. He was donating it to streamers, correct?
I'm sorry, what was that? My wife texted me. I had to.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Listen, you got other stuff in your life.
Listen, when the wife texts, all other shit stops, guys. I'm sorry, she gets my.
Okay, let me just say this, okay? Whatever the fuck Lamar's about to say is not gonna be actually right. He never knows anything about
fuck you.
Stories to cover.
All right,
okay,
Seth,
listen.
Let's let Lamar speak, and we'll see. Then we'll see if we need to shit on him or not.
I will preface with saying that I do not keep up with commentary shit just because I don't find it interesting. But aside from that, you were saying that you guys are talking about like iDubbbz and him. You said that he was donating money to streamers from that live stream, correct?
No.
Yeah, see, I told you.
Listen, I've been trying to keep up. I've been like, but either way,
no. What happened was during the event, right? This creator clash, each creator that signed up to do this, they received a $20,000 stipend to cover expenses, be it training, gym memberships, cover the money that they possibly did not make because they weren't able to stream or do whatever events that they normally do, because they were going to have to be in the gym, or they're going to be receiving boxing training or this, that, whatever else. That was what that money was designated for, right? The problem is you have creators out there that's talking about they did this because they made money off of it. It doesn't take them $20,000 to change some eating habits or to join a membership or even to receive some training. It doesn't take $20,000 to do all that, right? And my point argument was this, is if it was truly about charity, if these creators were truly about giving to these charities, they should not have taken a $20,000 stipend. That $20,000 should have been left into the kitty, as it were, to give towards these charities, right? But when you start giving each one of these creators a $20,000 stipend, and then you have to put on a special event afterwards for all the boxers to process their trauma. Fuck that. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, so I guess it's just a matter of how much money did Creator Clash make?
They made zero. They were $250,000 in the hole.
Yeah.
And so they were so creators were given 20,000, and
yes.
And then that was before they even made any money from Creator Clash specifically.
Okay, so here's what the contract stipulated. Each boxer was given a $20,000 stipend, and then each boxer was given a percentage of the pay-per-view sales, right? So here's the deal. So these celebrities that was doing all this shit for charity were paid. They received money. So irregardless, see, here's the thing. Irregardless of if they made money and whatever to give to these charities or not, these creators were getting paid. They got paid $20,000 stipend, and then they got a percentage. Every one of them got a percentage of the pay-per-view sales. Now, pay-per-view sales were down. They said about half of what the Creator Clash 1 was, right? Mm-hmm. But they still got paid. Those creators got their monies before anything was ever given. Basically, all the profits or the proceeds, that's what was then turned and given to the charities. But since there was no profit, there was no proceeds, charities got jack shit. These creators got paid. So tell me how this was for charity. No, this was about giving these creators more clout, as we discussed, and it was about putting money in their back pocket. Because Ian himself said this. So, I mean...
Yeah, I would like to give the benefit of the doubt. I'm sort of like that guy where I'm like, okay, maybe this originally was for charity, and they just happened to not make money for Creator Clash 2 to be able to give to charity.
But have you ever heard of a charity where you get paid like a set sum of money, and then also the money that comes from how much the event made? That's really weird to me.
Well, yeah, if they were getting paid off of how much the event made, also, kind of fucked. If they were like, because I can kind of get behind the idea behind, oh yeah, you're paid 20,000 because you are here. You aren't streaming, you aren't making content for this day specifically. Even though I know like most like content creators make content ahead of time. I can understand why they're getting paid to be there. But if they're like, oh yeah, part of this pay-per-view, you also get paid from that also, that's a little bit fucked, especially if it's supposed to be for charity specifically.
Why should they be paid to be there?
I mean, so sort of like you mentioned, where if they're not streaming at a certain time, like I know people make a lot of money from streaming, they make a lot of money from like content creation in general.
Sure.
Then I can even like 20,000 definitely is a lot to be paid from just being there for a day or something. Training.
Do you realize? Let's put some things in perspective here. Do you know that there are people whose annual salary, now I'm not talking about just a couple of 3 months here. I'm talking about their annual total 12-month salary is $20,000 a year, and they live off of it.
I fucking wish. I'm making less than $20,000 a year and I have to pay rent.
Okay.
Can I ask a simpler question, which is if the creators were paid for their time, and if that's what we're saying, what exactly did they donate to charity then?
Bingo. That's my point.
I would like, again, benefit of the doubt, I would like to believe that whatever the money wasn't used by those content creators for like training and stuff like that, they would donate the rest of that. That's what I would like to believe.
But they didn't.
But of course, yeah, and that again, that's the issue.
But even if they did, then they're at net zero. That's my point. My point is that if I'm donating, that means I am losing. I am giving them something. I'm giving them money. I'm giving them time. Or what did they give them if they were paid?
That'd be like me doing this, right? Let's say I decided that one day a week I was going to go down to my local food bank and work there, sorting, receiving, giving, handing out whatever they needed me to do. But I said, listen, coffee beans, I'm not going to be able to do my stream this morning because I'm going to go out here and I'm going to go do this thing. But I'm going to need you to go ahead that day anyway and send me donations to cover my losses.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, that's.
I'm sorry, but that's just usually not how events like that are run. I've helped set up several charity events because my aunt works for a charity, and usually the talent, we've set up concerts and shit. Talent is some kind of flat rate or whatever, right? Like just a set amount, and then whatever is made otherwise, is the part that goes to the charity. I have never heard of anyone getting the amount of like what was made from the charity, like to talent. That is incredibly weird, and that makes me think that it wasn't like actually for charity.
Exactly.
Even if he had someone else who were like who's used to setting up charities and stuff, they would have told him that this is usually how it runs. Right? I don't think that it was actually set up for charity at all.
Mm.
Yeah, I just don't really like I said, like I think it's because it's at such a high level, we're thinking there's like more complicated things, but it would be like literally sometimes I will mentor somebody, and it's like if I went to that mentor session and said, well, I'm losing an hour of work to sit here and mentor you, so you should give me my hourly of work. What's the difference between that and them just paying me for that hour?
And again, like I said, these guys are creators. The whole thing about it is take what you're doing and make it into content. If that means you get one of your buddies, one of your hang-arounders to come in and use a freaking mobile phone and record you in the gym working out, working the heavy bag, working the speed bag, whatever it is that you're doing, and you turn around and make that content and you use that to hype the event. But the bottom line is you don't get paid. If you're doing something for charity, you give your time, you give your name, you give your freaking clout to the charity to raise the money, because that's where the focus should be. That's what should be highlighted, is the charity, not you and putting money in your back pocket.
I also, wasn't it a while ago, was it fucking Jessica Blevins or whatever the fuck she's called, and whoever else sort of bitch on Twitter got into a discussion about getting paid for doing like charities and stuff? I'm pretty sure like the general consensus was that most of the time online, even as a creator, you do it like without getting paid for it.
Sure.
Yeah, I again, I'm not like super into like the commentary community just because no offense against you guys, but it's just I don't know. Whatever. Either way, I don't know shit. I don't know like too much shit about the commentary community. Don't laugh at me, Gigi.
You came to a commentary community podcast and was like, "Hey, I don't really associate with you guys because you guys
I'm friends
you
with
guys
Seth.
are kind of gross and disgusting. No offense.
I never said that. I'm friends with people. I'm friends with River. I'm friends with Seth. Like, I don't have anything against you guys. It's just that there are a select amount of people that, you know, sort of like can taint the commentary community, I guess. But, you know, it's like, I can totally, like, what people I was saying, if you're going to an event for charity specifically. No,
names.
fuck you.
Name names.
I'm not getting involved in this shit. I told you, I don't get involved in this shit.
How do you feel about commentary too, Lamar?
you can check my video. But it's like, you know, I can definitely see where people are coming from. It's like, if you're going to something for charity, you're going to be doing that shit for free out of the kindness of your heart, if anything, because especially since you are famous, like, you have that faith. You're like, hey, I'm doing this event. If you guys want to donate, feel free. I can, you know, you shouldn't have to be paid for that. Like, if for example, if in that moment I was like, you know, fucking super popular or some shit, and somebody was like, hey, you want to be part of creative class? I'd be like, fuck yeah. I get to go to something and be a part of something cool, just so that way I could donate them money. If like, again, even if I was paid 20,000, like, it's like, I would donate that shit even when even if I was famous, I wouldn't be struggling at that point. But even me struggling at this very moment, if fucking whoever was like, you want to do this event for charity, I'd be like, fuck yeah. How much does it cost?
See, that's the thing. You're being too optimistic, Lamar, because not everyone is gonna think like that.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say is, like, I understand where people are coming from with, like,
you just
these people
did
are getting
it, right?
paid. And
in your example just now, you just said, if somebody asked me to do a charity event, my first question would be like, what is going to be the cost for me to get there? Which means you already know that if you're doing a charity event, the cost of doing the event, an outfit, transportation, food, when you like, all that stuff is obviously part of it. Like, this is the same thing. If I was donating at a soup kitchen, I can't ask them to pay me back my hourly rate. Oh, and also buy my lunch and pay for my Uber. Like, what is that?
Well, yeah, no. Then that's the thing, right? If they had offered to fly me out, if they're like, hey, we'll fly you out to this event specifically, we'll get you a hotel, but that's it, I'd be like, yeah, sure. Whatever else.
But why should they do that? See, that's the whole thing. I don't get. I'm having a hard time with these guys. Right? Is if you're doing something for charity purposes, it should come at a cost to you, right?
Well, yeah, and that's also the thing is, like, if I was making as much money as, like, content creators, you know, big fucking people, you know, fucking Markiplier or PewDiePie, whoever the fuck, if I was making that amount of money, I'd be like, no, let me pay for this. Let me make sure that I'm able to get there. I pay for my own training. I'll be out there. Just let me know when it's happening. I'm doing this for charity.
Okay, so
like, that's not big of an issue.
Can we also wait 1 second? We're saying $20,000, but no one's also pointing out that you every dime that you spend on charity stuff, you also get a tax credit for. So they're basically getting double that. On top of that, on top of more fans, on top of positive crowd, they also get tax credit. Like, they're making it like a bandit for doing a charity event. Like,
but I mean, also, I kind of disagree at the point where it is not unusual. Maybe it is in the online sphere, right? But it's not unusual. Normally, if you have a band or something, if you're setting up a concert, you'll pay your talent like a flat rate. And I can see where they're coming from with, like, it being sort of like you have to train and there's a lot that goes into it. So I don't really have that much of a problem with specifically them being paid. It's the amount and then the mismanagement from IDOPS' side, and then really what is the issue for me, which is really abnormal, is the fact that they got paid like a cut off of what was made on the event.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the other problem is disclosure here, isn't it? Like, I feel like I agree with you that the amount is a problem, but I don't remember ever hearing anything about them being paid anything, even for training, despite the fact that I also feel like if you can't...
I definitely heard that. Yeah,
if you can't afford to do the charity, then don't do the charity, because maybe another creator who can afford the training can do it, and then more money can go to the charity. Like, I'm not super understanding.
So, you know, one of the things that when I went to go do my taxes this year, because I had started receiving, donations and whatever, and I was like, talking to my accountant to figure out, how do I handle this? What do I do? So on and so forth. Because the bottom line is I didn't want to get hammered on my taxes when this was all said and done. And, because of the philanthropy and all that, right? And so when I asked them about, how do I handle this? What do I do? They basically said, it's simple. You just make sure that you spend everything out of there, or as much as you possibly can, before the end of the year, every year. Show the receipts, and we write off. It's a pause. You have to balance it, right? You balance it out, expenditures versus receipts, and when you show that you gave these these different things, whatever, to different people. It's real simple. Yeah. Okay, fine. Well, okay. So if these creators, right, rather than receiving any type of stipend, without receiving any type of percentage of the pay-per-view sales, right, if they truly were in their hearts cared about these charities, they would have just said, no, I don't need a stipend. I don't need any percentage. I want all that to be saved to give towards these charities. They train, they do what they need to do, they keep their receipts, they write it off on their taxes. Not only do they get that, then as a tax write-off against what their donations, their memberships, whatever it is that they have, or monies they got coming in because of their events. But then they also can turn around and record that, the training and stuff, which then in turn they can put up for content to get more views and stuff. It's going to draw attention to their channel, right? So they're going to get paid off in the clout currency as well, right? Which in turn is going to get them more views, more eyes. Everything's positive. But instead, what we have is a organization that says, okay, we're going to pay these people to do charity. That's what it boils down to. We're paying these people to do charity. Not only are we going to pay them and giving them a stipend, we're also going to give them a percentage of all the pay-per-view sales. Oh, dadgummit. That put us in the red, so now we have nothing to give the charities this year. We're sorry, charities, but don't worry. There'll be Creator Clash 3, and we'll use that same excuse again to fundraise, to get these people out here to do these events again. And we'll make sure and have our little trauma dumping session at the end where we'll bring in and we can help us process our trauma. What?
For another 20,000.
Yeah. What? No, I'm sorry. This whole thing from the beginning to end stank. And I'm sorry. It's just poor management. If you want these guys to get paid and you want to be getting their bags, which by the way, all right, was one of the things that iDub said back on a podcast with H3H3. He said he did not want this to become or be a deal where these boxers were getting paid. That's not what the focus of this was supposed to be. The focus of this was supposed to be about them raising money for charity. This was an interview that he gave H3H3 podcast. I believe it was either right before Creator Clash 1 or right after Creator Clash 1, because Ethan was sitting, or not Ethan. Yeah, Ethan Klein was sitting there telling me, you need to make money with this. He goes, no. This is not about getting paid. This is not about getting the boxers paid. This is about getting money for the charities. Well, that's exactly what it's become. It's become a bag for the creators. You don't believe me? Let me show you. Let me find this tweet here. Who was it? Bo Blacks, I think, was the one that tweeted this out. Let me find it here.
About the same as Josh? I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's his real name.
Well, people looks for that. Can I point out that there's no reason why Creator Clash has to be boxing? Like boxing.
What is that sexy picture of Boblex in like a bathtub or something?
Who knows? Who knows?
No, we're talking about.
Gigi, you were saying.
Yeah, it could. What if Creator Clash was a bunch of different things so that it wouldn't matter? Like, I wouldn't do boxing because I wouldn't want to get punched in the face, but I'll take on anybody in air hockey. Listen, open challenge. I will take anybody out in this community on in air hockey, and you will go down. I am down to see some, like, poetry slams, like, Rock'em Sock'em robots. Like, let's just have different clashes, and then you can have people from all over the community do stuff, raise more money for charity. There's none of this, money for stipend because you're choosing your clash type.
Yeah, not
like
honestly,
there were
not,
ways
not
to
even
do this.
not even necessarily like a clash between creators, but just have creators come out and be like, hey, we're doing this thing tonight. You know, again, like you mentioned, like we'll have creators come out and do like slam poetry. We'll have creators come out who do perform music. We'll have them perform music. We'll have these content creators who do this, that, and the third. You know, we'll have Smash creators come out and like, you know, play Smash. Just to have creators there and raise money for a charity. It doesn't even necessarily need to be one creator
No,
versus
you
another.
have to have a clash. You have
we
to have
should
teams.
do-
You have to have teams to battle and root for.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess, but
we still want to fight.
I think we
still
should
wanna
start
gossip.
our charity event because Purple Paw Prince seems to want to fight you in air hockey anyway.
well,
We
how much
should
am I
make a
getting
charity
paid?
event out of that.
Yeah, there you go.
Not you,
GG.
Lamar. GG.
I'm joking.
No, well, I'm battling
Lamar,
Lamar right
I-
now, and we're doing debate. We're doing our debate battle, and I think he's losing because my idea is better.
Well, I
Come
mean,
on.
I also did have a whole.
Well,
bottle of
wait,
wine,
you're
so.
beating a black man? Oh,
That's
hold
racist.
up, GG.
Yeah.
All right. So
And
I
my
found,
event will have snacks, people.
okay. So I found the clip I was looking for.
To everybody who came out here tonight, this is
Now, see this Creator Clash 2. This is Creator Clash 2. This is and I don't remember the guy's name, but this is one of the competitors that night.
for a great cause. Proceeds are going to charity. That's why I did this. I also did this for money. I ain't gonna lie, just keeping it real.
So what's the allure of doing a boxing match like this?
Money.
Whoa.
You know, the competitive spirit runs deep in me, and yeah, money.
Dude, this guy's shameless. Who is this dude?
Is that John Randall Hennigan, maybe? Let's see if that's right. Let me look that up here.
Dude, no way he's that shameless. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly who it was. Yeah, he was a professional wrestler. He was in the he knocked out Epic Mealtime. This is from the from Creator Clash 2. That's who he was fighting. He was actually fighting Harley whatever his name is, Epic Meals.
Oh, it's John Morrison.
Yeah.
Okay,
But,
no, that's crazy that he's that shameless, but also this guy. I am shameless, by the way, but yeah, no, this guy is like an honest to God wrestler, so he's probably used to very different circumstance. But that is fucking shameless, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for calling in, Lamar. Appreciate it, and you have a great day, sir. Yeah.
You too. Have a good one, you guys.
All right, so I want to kind of continue on because I still got a lot to get through here. But so anyway, Anisa, this is iDubbbz's spouse, says creating drama centered around charity is insane. I agree, it's insane. But who's the one that created the drama? Right? Is it us?
Me.
Is it us that we're talking about it? We're reporting. We're showing the hypocrisy and stuff that occurred. Is that us? Or is it you guys out here pearl clutching and trying to pretend that you're good people doing good things?
I honestly, I don't mean to give a W to Parking Tigers, but he says, bitch, I wouldn't have purchased tickets if I knew it wasn't actually going to charity. And that brings up kind of a good point, because I feel like that is a little bit of a scam, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sure, right? Because the people, that bought the pay-per-views, that attended in there were people who traveled great distances to go because the whole purpose was, this is a charity event. We're raising money off of this charity. The only ones that got money in their pockets was the people who were
Fighting.
boxing, right? That's it. That's the only one who anyone got money. Wasn't that no charities, right? So, and as Willie Max says here, if anybody botched a charity event because they couldn't put aside their massive egos, it would be drama. Why is she so dumb? So what are we talking about? So do you think, is it possible? Is it possible because of the whole drama that came around from them lying about why they banned Froggy Fresh from the event, right?
Yep. That's what I was going to point out. This all stemmed from the fact that Anisa couldn't take a joke, apparently. Or Ian couldn't take a joke. I don't know which one it was that got really upset.
Anisa's mom. I think it might have been her mom. Actually.
Yo, people.
The joke was, if I lose this, I'll subscribe to her OnlyFans. That wasn't like okay. It was such a minor thing to say, and look at how it's blown up in their face.
It's the ego, though, right? It's the ego.
But do they not understand drama sells? Drama makes money. If they would have done around and done something like that and handled that appropriately, handled the drama and leaned into it, they could have made some money. How do we know this? Because Gideon came on and said, listen, I'll give $100,000 to the event if you will just let Froggy Fresh back on the pay-per-view, right? If they'd let Froggy on there, because remember, they say, oh, it's because he trained with, what's his name? Sam Hyde, right? But then Ian comes out after the event and says, that he kept giving Froggy all these whatever, but he said, I'll look over it. So then if he looked over the whole Sam Hyde training, iDub, or Froggy Fresh rather, then the only thing that's left is the fact that he made a throwaway jab at Chris Ray Gun, because Chris and Anisa used to have they used to do these videos and stuff together, right? And he said, I'll buy her OnlyFans. Well, hang on. I thought iDubbbz was okay with people buying her OnlyFans and jerking off to it. Didn't he make a whole video proclaiming his support of his wife and her being a quote sex worker? So which one is it? I don't understand. I mean, there's I don't know. To me, I see so many different angles to where they could have hyped that up and whatever, and they could have built for even like a Creator Clash 3 where it would have been iDubbbz versus Froggy Fresh, and to defend of his wife's honor. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just don't see the bigger picture here, so I don't know. But I just think there was just anyway.
I would argue that Sam Hyde's fish tank did more for people in need than Creator Clash 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with that.
Yeah.
So to try to rectify the situation, right? After that video came out and was so well received by the community, iDubbbz decides that he's going to do a 24-hour charity stream, where for different tiers of donations would do different things. Like if you do $250,000, he would shave his head. $150,000, I don't know what this is, girly pop, I don't know what the hell that is. $125,000, he'd eat a habanero dinner. $100,000, remove his mustache. Evidently he did get that because he doesn't have a mustache here. $50,000, he'd do the cinnamon challenge. $25,000, ice bucket challenge. $5,000.
Did he make this, by the way?
I say that this proves that he knew he wasn't going to make the 250K, because look at the amount between 150 and 250. He knew he wasn't going to hit that. Like, he knew he wasn't going to hit that. There would be more things in between it if he had any hope of even making it to that 150.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know what his overall total final, we can look that up here in a minute if you guys will remind me. But during this stream, there was something that this woman who he has charited, or not charited, this woman who he has accredited to bringing this transformation in him and making him a better person, so much so that he took her name when they got married. I mean, this pillar of support, this strong person had this to say about him during a live stream where I don't know how many people were watching him. I'm sure it was several thousands, but this is what she said.
If you can, I just want to ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had like IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
Now I want you.
Yeah,
to look,
well,
I want
dude,
you.
I wish I could see his full reaction.
I mean,
I
look
wish
at
we had
his.
a longer clip, people.
Well, okay, but look at this man's face.
That is not a happy man.
He's defeated, man.
That is a broken man. It's not defeated. That's a man who is broken. He's broken. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
The way he says no,
like what? He's like, why are you saying this about me? Right? Why are you saying why? I want to tell you something. My wife. She, we'll be with friends, family, whatever, and she'll bust my balls. I mean, it happens. I mean, there's playful banter and stuff. But what she would never ever do is she would never do something like this when I was streaming to be that embarrassing to where it would live forever. She would never ever do that to me because she loves and respects me way too much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It is really incredibly fucked up that she would say that shit. Like even if she didn't do it maliciously, like that is incredibly like tone deaf. Then she's retarded, dude.
JC said this in chat, and I agree with it. Any woman that loves to shit on her man like this isn't in love. Banter is okay. Disrespect isn't. And that is 1,000% correct. This was disrespectful. This was disrespectful because here's the deal. I don't know if she was intending this as a joke. I don't know if Ian has irritable bowel syndrome or not. If he does, it makes it even worse, right? That she made this a public thing to where, and here's the thing, right, guys? If people who suffer from ITBS, it happens because something will happen to trigger their bowel syndrome, and they lose control of their bodily functions. This is
fucked up, actually.
It is. It is very fucked up. So, and this is a medical condition. This would be like making fun of somebody because they, I don't.
Is there any way to cure IBS?
No.
That's fucked.
They have medications that they can take that will help, but there is no cure for it. This is like I don't know if I guess it's genetic.
I don't know that they know that, but it's a condition. So it basically just means your stomach is more sensitive. So it's not a cure. You just have to be careful. And even then, like randomly, it's like, hello.
Man, I don't vibe with that. There is no path, dude. There is no fucking path, dude. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't like thinking about people shitting in their pants.
Yeah.
I unironically, like, shit makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Really? Because I feel like the rest of us are super comfortable with shit, Seth. I feel like the rest of us, we just...
No, but like...
We all just hang out.
No, I'm like saying, you know how some people... Shut the fuck up, Toxic Pip-Love, you dumbass bitch. No, like, some people are, like, less disgusted by some things and more disgusted by other things. It's just, if someone says the word poop, I want to kill myself.
It's pretty extreme.
Yeah, so, like, I think about slitting my wrists.
Yeah.
Everybody poops, Seth.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So, Nicholas Dioro tweets out, says, Gideon offered these assholes $100,000 for their charity event, which they declined because of pride egos. Even if Gideon had doubled that to $200,000, Creator Clash wouldn't have broken even. It was so fucking mismanaged. No creator walks away with any donations for their charity. Harley Morstein, because Harley Morstein is a fucking moron.
Guy, dude?
He's a fucking moron. Says that was always a weird move by him. You don't see a move by him. You don't see that. He tried to force something by holding potential charity money donations hostage. Logically, his priority. Oh, hold on. He tried to hold potential charity money donations for hostage. Motherfucker, Harley, motherfucker, you sat there and you received a goddamn $20,000 stipend. You received a fucking percentage of all the pay-per-views, and you held that shit for hostage because you sure as fucking didn't give that back to charity, did you, motherfucker? Fuck you motherfucker. This is such a... No, okay, let's stop thinking about this. Motherfuckers. So Gideon says, I'll give $100,000 donation if you will put Froggy Fresh back into the event to let him fight. He wasn't holding that shit charity. He was making it, he goes, you do this, I'll donate $100,000. How much more fucking money would this event have actually had and made if they'd allowed Froggy to continue to fight? Me, for one, I would have actually then turned around and bought the pay-per-view. I would have watched it because that's what I wanted to see. How many others out there, Froggy Fresh fans, because of all the stuff that they had gotten hyped up at this point? You fucking, this motherfucker's a Neanderthal moron because he doesn't understand. Harley, weird or not, the event lost $250,000. It turns out Ian couldn't weather the storm after all. LOL, he probably should have taken it. 100% he should have taken it. Fucking moron. So then, Tommy C and Harley get into it. Now, Tommy C and Harley had gotten into this prior to the Creator Clash, right? And they had bickered back and forth. And so after the announcement of the $250,000 loss, Tommy C tweets out, Froggy Fresh laughs tonight. Harley, because he's a reply boy, he's a pick-me, says, pretty obvious you don't really know him, fatso. He wouldn't laugh at charity losing out on money, right? So then they go back and forth. And so I would laugh at, so Tommy quote tweets him and says, I would laugh at a bunch of woke jerks like iDubbbz running their mouths for weeks only to fail to deliver any money for any charity that you virtue signaled ad nauseum about. This event was about egomaniacs like yourself, never charity. Exactly right. Tommy 100% nailed it. It's about these egomaniacs who wanted to get their money, get their pay, get their clout. Because it was really about charity. They would never receive one fucking cent.
They wanted their cake, cake and eat it too. Like, they wanted them to look good, being like, oh, it's for charity, but they also wanted all the money.
Yep.
It's fucking annoying.
No surprise, what a bunch of losers, right? Harley comes back and says, yeah, but nobody cares about what you said you would do, fatso, not since 2007. Did anyone care? Nobody cares about all the sad, hungry babies you let down, too. Only if idiots didn't run that event like they may have got an epic meal. But no, everybody loses. And, of course, you know, Tommy's just fucking eating his ass alive on this shit. And then he goes, watch Harley plays Meltdown. It's fun. Again, pick me. Okay, fatso, you say I'm having a meltdown, yet you're posting starving children and making custom images about me. Go spend time with your family. And then Tommy C, here's one for the road, right? So then Tommy comes in later and says, shocking, Harley plays lying to me about Creator Clash 2. This was back in March, right? Where they're in their DM, they were back and forth in the DM stuff. Says, lick my immature balls when you're done with Ian's law. Ticket sales and pay-per-view buys are in for the moment. Haha, it's bigger than Creator Clash 1. Thanks for being a mark for me, you silly goofball. And he says, I lied to you in private because I didn't respect you. I don't respect you. I didn't know the 50,000 pay-per-view buys until today. And Winamax like, bruh. So he lied to him?
Wait, hold on. Is there... No, I can't float that. Never mind.
So anyway, yeah, Harley was the whole thing about Harley all out there because he became the spokesman, right? Ian wasn't talking. Anisa wasn't talking. The only one out here running his fucking pie hole was Harley. Harley was out here in every fucking Twitter space. He was out here on Twitter. He was out here everywhere talking about how this was all for charity. Why are you holding $100,000 hostage? Motherfuckers.
Okay, this is how we get sued, by the way, but let me float this idea anyway. Considering he said that, is there a possibility they broke even and Idols just wanted more money or something?
No, I don't think that's that it either. I want to see if I don't think it's
likely, but like, do we actually have any proof they didn't break even?
Okay, let's just do some simple math here. You guys can do simple math, right?
No, I can't.
So let's remove iDubbbz out of the equation. We won't give him the $20,000 stipend or percentage of pay-per-views. We'll just count everybody else. So there's one, Alex, John Randall. We know he was for the money because we saw him say that shit versus Harley. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
okay,
18,
wait,
19,
this many
20,
people?
21, 22, 23, 23. I don't know what about the announcers. I don't know if they got paid, but we'll just say 23. So let me bring up a calculator here.
No
so we
fucking
got
way. They were never gonna break even if they're paying all of them that much.
$20,000. That's 460. Almost $500,000 just in fucking stipends. $500,000 in stipends.
They were
people.
never gonna fucking break even like with that many they're fucking paying, dude.
Oh, so what was the charity?
Each one of them had their own charities, right? They were paying for their own charities, and they were going to receive a percentage of the proceeds would go towards the charities. And I'm sure as they went up the card as far as popularity, whatever, I'm sure their charities maybe got a bigger donation. I don't know. That's speculation on my part. Let me just say that. But we'll just, I want you guys to look at this. Is there a way to make this motherfucker bigger? I want you to look at this. $460,000, guys, just in charities, or just in stipends. Almost $500,000 in stipends went out the door before one charity received one penny. 1 penny. Not penty, 1 penny. Let that shit sink in. But remember, guys, it's for charity. It's for charity. Fuckers.
Wait, if there were that many people on the card, like, they were never gonna break even.
No. No.
How did no one... No, there's no way this was for charity. Like,
bingo.
At this point, like, if you think that, you gotta be retarded.
I mean, they're about to try to explain to us how it was still for charity somehow, so.
Yeah, well, so I thought this was I thought this next little thing right here, right? This is a clip from Tommy of a Boogie video he put out. He said, "Is Boogie 2988 right, iDubbbz?" Right? Let's listen to what this little segment here from Boogie.
iDubbbz blocked me. Let's see if we can figure out why iDubbbz blocked me. Maybe I hurt Ian's feelings. Of course, it might be because I responded to the I miss the old iDubbbz video by saying that I do miss the old iDubbbz. I miss the carefree, happy-go-lucky, funny guy who would do almost anything for a laugh, and that I didn't enjoy the current unhappy, miserable, just self-loathing iDubbbz that he's become, and I hoped he got better. Maybe that's why he blocked me. That's a possibility. Maybe it's because I'm critical, just like NBC News was, of, you know, the Creator Clash 2 drama. Oh wait, actually I haven't said anything about that. Or maybe he actually watched my video where I pointed out that if you go down the rabbit hole that I went down, and you apologize again and again, and you listen to the people that have been critical of you instead of listening to yourself, and you make your online content so synonymous with apologizing that eventually that's the only thing you are known for, you will fall into obscurity just like I did, and it scared the hell out of him because it knew I was right. Yeah, it was probably that one.
I'm gay.
iDubbbz blocked me.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean,
I gotta act like Tommy hasn't shown me this 5 times because he was proud of it. But wow, that was.
But it's a good one.
Video.
No, it was very good. Tommy gets it. Yeah, he gets it right.
He replayed the end of the video like 3 times and was like, "Look how I edited in the gay part."
Yeah. Oh, he was. Yeah, Tommy did good. I props to Tommy, right? Yeah, epically rare Boogie W. Exactly, DMax. Exactly, 100%. I want to. I think we're good here. The other day, Tommy C was doing a video, doing a live stream, and he was, was riffing on Harley Plays here, whatever, and Harley called into the stream.
Okay, before you play this, can I just say?
Yeah.
This is something Tommy does often, okay?
Yeah.
And everyone, you might think Tommy is a fucking retard, okay?
Yeah.
But he goes in and he sits and he goes through different strategies, and the reason why he comes out winning is that he autistically sits there and just goes through the possibilities of what's gonna happen and then makes up a strategy, and he's always fucking right for some goddamn fucking reason.
He's what we, because I'm gonna pull back the curtains here a little bit. DMax and I do this all the time too, right? Like there'll be something coming up, and he say, "Hey, you got time to talk? I need a battle plan." That's okay, and so we'll go through it, right? Or I'll call him up and say, "Hey, I got this," And so we go through all the scenarios. We go through every possible thing, and we say, "Okay, when this happens, this is what we do." Whatever. So it's not that it's autistic; it's smart.
Okay, no, no, but what I mean is, I'm sure there's a difference. Okay, because
excuse
Tommy...
me. Pause. Did you just equate to doing something smart with it being the opposite of being autistic? Excuse you.
No.
This is very ableist of you.
No.
Cancel him, guys. He did it.
Okay. First of all, okay, listen.
Whatever, cancel me. I don't give a shit. No, what I was saying is that
no. I was speaking, people. I'll kill you.
Ooh.
I'll kill you. Okay, maybe it's not the same. I bet it's not the same. Because I must have misspoken. He doesn't even sit and go through it. He just says, "Here's what we're going to do. This is what he's going to do."
Mm-hmm.
And then we win. And he's always right. And I have never... Obviously, I've never been in a fly on the wall for your and DMX's conversations, but I've never seen you guys get a monumental W the way that Tommy does every single time he has something like this happen.
I don't know, Seth. I feel like the thing is, most people don't think about it in times of panic. I have noticed just that if you just think about it, you will win most of the time because most people don't do that.
Okay, yeah, but why would you think about it? That's so retarded.
Well,
it's not, but it's not. It's not. When you're doing and making this type of content, eventually you're going to draw the attention and you're going to have people like what happened here where they're going to call in and confront you. And so you war room, you strategize, and sometimes it's with other people or sometimes it's just with yourself. And you say, okay, what do I need to do? What has to be done so that I set myself up for the best possible attack vector so that my opponent is completely and totally disarmed and I come in and can be completely and totally offensive and totally obliterate them, right? It is a military mindset. Tommy was military. He has that same mindset, right? Most people, they don't respond, they react, right? To respond means that you have a plan in place. If X happens, then I'm going to do Y. If A happens, I'm going to do B. And if S happens, I'm going to do T.
But
right?
doesn't this only work if your opponent isn't building a strategy themselves?
No.
That's not true. It's go and read Sun Tzu, right? It's to know your
Sun Tzu. Yeah, I've read The Art of War. I've read all of it.
Then we shouldn't have to be having this conversation with you.
Yeah, you're talking as if strategies or like these kind of politics are open world, and they're not. They're chess.
Yeah, it's chess. It's your opponent does this, then you do this. But you have it all mapped out in your head already. And sometimes you do it with other people, right, to get different views and opinions and strategies, or sometimes you do it by yourself. Now, I don't know if Tommy got some of his close confidants around him, and they if you listen to the beginning of this, which I kind of he talks about, I'm going to do exactly what you guys don't think I'm going to do it. So that kind of tells me he already had his team. He'd already talked to them, right? His closest confidants, and they had already strategized, and he said, this is what I'll do. And then he does what he does. So understand something, guys. When Tommy does this thing and he says what he says at the beginning of this that you're fixing to hear, it makes Tommy sound like a very horrible, vile, just decrepit person. But he's not. Right?
I don't know, man. I feel like it is more open world. There's probably a million things you could do and not obviously there's percentage on how much something is likely to happen or how likely you are to do something.
It's not just that, Seth. It's also about paths, right? Like yes, you always have more options, but there's a reason why some options are more well worn than others. Like I can tell you, in a corporate environment, like I rally against this all the time. It's like, why do I have to do it this way? And I'll talk to my peers and my mentors, and they'll tell me, you could take the hard road, but that's not going to, it's going to take, even if you get to your goal, it's going to take you longer. Why would you do that? As opposed to investing your time in making more money? Like it's not that there isn't more options. It's that
things
effective for a reason.
They're proven to be, this is the better path. This is the smarter path. It's minimal effort and maximum return. Why do they know this? It's because if they're in a mentor position, it's probably because they've walked these paths before on their own, or they had a mentor sit down with them and show them, right? It's so, yeah, I mean.
Also, we could point out that this all sounds like these are, and they can be used offensively, but I can tell you in my case, a lot of times the reason I'm thinking about strategy, it's about defense. I right now have a work nemesis who I have to be careful with because he feels that I'm a threat to his job. And if I look at the bigger picture, he is correct. And what does that say to me? That says to me that I have to be careful how I interact with him because he's looking for a reason. And I need to know that. It's just, yes, I could also use it to like mess with people. And I'm sure people do. And listen, I'm sure I will if and when the time comes for me to do that. But it's just there are rules to this game we call life, I think.
And also too, keep in mind with certain people that are a little bit more honest and they're a little bit more intelligent, it takes more, right, to go up against people like that. But people like Harley Morstein, no. Okay. He's very basic, and so for Tommy to outsmart him was just another day that ends in Y. It did not.
What I'm saying is Tommy seems to be able to do this every time.
Yes.
And I don't think I would be able to do it, at least.
Well, and give Tommy but give Tommy credit too. Tommy can read people. He's a very good reader of people, and he can quickly summarize what the person is really about. Right? And that's, some people have that and some people don't. I have it to a certain degree, but it's not as finely acute and honed as what Tommy is. And Tommy just has that he just, an abundance. He just has the ability to read somebody. And when he reads you, he usually is right. And it's infuriating to people about, I don't know how he gets all these W's, because Tommy can read people and he pretty much knows the decisions and what they're going to do before they even do it, because he just knows that type of person and what they do. So
I'm just saying, definitively for Tommy, it's every single time.
Well, he has a high percentage, but there's been a couple of times where he fucked up. Right?
I ain't never seen it.
Okay. Well, how about the one where, what was that girl's name that he kind of basically made her, he kind of shit on her as being one of these typical military, and it turned out she was, like airborne. Emery, yeah.
Yeah, well, she didn't have to, like, that wasn't like a real thing. That was one comment on Twitter.
Okay, yeah, but he fucked up. He misread the situation.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, when he comes into a discussion.
Well, here's the thing, right? Emery could have eaten his lunch, but she didn't. She was cool. She's a cool person. And they ultimately turned out and worked together and raised a lot of money, more money than Morstein did, for charity, by the way, to help the people that was left behind over in Iraq, I think it was, or was it, where was that? Where they pulled out and I can't remember, but anyway, they raised like over $8,000 to help this organization go in there and help expedite these people that were stranded. But anyway, so that was really more to do with Emery than it was Tommy, because he kind of stepped in it on that one. He admitted that he did, but he was just lucky that Emery was cool and didn't just eat him alive.
That's just not a like the type of situation I'm talking about. I'm talking about when he goes like live at someone who, like, he knows exactly. It seems like
so you're saying more drama. You're talking about more the drama related shit versus that. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I think he probably. There's nothing comes off the top of my head where he kind of dropped. Well, there was the Ian Mao Chung thing that kind of bit him in his ass a little bit, but no, he has a very, very, very. I'm not trying to shit on Tommy here. He has a high success rate because, again, like I said, he's able to read people. Right, that's why he's such a good poker
about
player.
Tommy right now, and he already has all of Now Recording licking his balls. So how about we?
All right, well, let's listen to this. Let's listen to this. I want to listen because
I'm never
going to
stop licking his balls, by the way. So
okay.
I mean, that's fine, but.
All right, so let's listen to this because I thought this was classic Tommy here.
I got this. You ready?
Oh, yep.
All right. Harley, can you hear me clearly? We'll wait. We'll give him a second. Don't worry.
Hello?
Harley, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I hear you clearly.
All right, before I start this, so there's no making this about me, I'm going to tell you something. I hope your parents die of cancer. I hope your kids die of cancer. I hope your goldfish dies and all your friends get AIDS. So from now on, as we go further, I've firmly established that I'm a terrible fucking person. Have we got that? I'm conceding to you right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm conceding. So now that that's out of the way, all right? Then I hope everybody you know and love dies of AIDS. Okay, let's talk.
Yes.
We're live. Let's talk about how you fucked this up
But you
so badly.
You said you conceded. I wanted to concede also. I wanted to also get it all out there. I don't know if you're a terrible person or not. I think you're a huge fucking loser.
Okay.
Just wanted to get that out
Can
there.
we pause?
Yeah.
I was so annoyed at this because it was like he already conceded that. So like it was so frustrating that he refused to move on to talk about anything. It's like, why are you here? Bro, why are you here? Like,
that's because he didn't think it was gonna be like this.
Yeah.
No, he didn't care. Like, what the I don't get what the purpose was. Like, was the purpose?
No, he thought he was gonna come in and he was gonna dunk on Tommy.
Yeah,
that's what he thought. Was
exactly, but Tommy.
No. If his purpose must have been to come on Tommy's podcast and personally irritate my hemorrhoids because it was so frustrating, and I'm like, bruh, you have so much money, you have a wonderful life, I'm sure, and you're calling into this podcast and you really can't just take the L. You really can't come on here and be like, man, I fucked up. Like, why is that so difficult? Why?
Well, I'm not going to, I don't know what was in Harley's mind. But what I will say is when Tommy opened it up like that and established, right, that he's this horrible person, I feel like it kind of disarmed Harley, because now he can't not take this high ground and say, that he's this good. There's nothing to argue about. Tommy conceded, I'm a horrible person. Now let's talk about how this whole thing was fucked up, how you mishandled it, what your part of it was. And let's talk about that. Right. And that totally put him on his heels, because that's not what he wanted. He didn't want to talk about him. Right? He wanted to talk about how horrible of a person Tommy was because of these tweets he were putting out about the starving kids. He wanted to talk about how horrible of a person Tommy was because he puts out this Dr. Thumbnail here, which is of a tweet that Harley says, fuck charities, I got to beat a boxing match on Career Clash 2. This is a fake fucking tweet. So this kind of shit, that's what he wanted to talk about, was that, right? He wanted to shit and try to point out how bad of a horrible person Tommy was. Tommy says, there's no argument. I'm a horrible person. I hope all your friends die of AIDS. I hope your cat gets the fucking ick and dies. Whatever. I mean, he totally dismantled and disarmed everything that Harley was going to try to do. And so Harley is sitting there left with a plate of ashes going, what the fuck do I do with this? And Tommy says, now let's talk about the real issue. Because he removed that conversation off the table. There's no conversation to have that. I'm a horrible person. You win, I lose. I'm a horrible person. Now let's talk about this over here. Harley didn't want to talk about that. He didn't call in to talk about it. He wanted to point out how horrible a person Tommy was. Tommy says, I'm a horrible person. Next question. Let's go over to this. And he wasn't. But that's it, this thing. That's the mindset of these people like Harley and others. iDubbbz. Right? Even in his talk about the explanation of the $250,000 that they lost, right? He blamed everything other than his management skills. He blamed pirators. He blamed all this stuff, right? Anisa's wife coming out and putting out tweets out there about how making drama about this is so lame.
Anisa's wife?
No, I said his wife, Anisa, putting up these tweets about how lame it was that the people were making drama about. We didn't make the drama. We simply reported the drama. We didn't make the shit. We didn't cause the situation. Your choices, your action.
The fire.
Exactly, right?
It was always burned. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, they go on. I'm not going to play any more of this. Go check this out. This was, the name of the stream was Harley Morrison Caught Lying, Creator Clash 2 featuring Epic Mealtime. This was from 5 days ago. It's over on Tommy C's channel, live stream. Go watch it. Harley calls in about the 1 hour, 1 minute mark, somewhere in there. You go about the 1 hour mark and pick it up from there and watch it. But watch this interaction. But the TLDR on that is Harley starts trying to do the same kind of bullshit thing that he did when he called into those Twitter spaces. He has his narrative, he has his talking points, but he does not, refuses to address any of the criticisms that are legitimate criticisms about how they fucked this whole situation up. And Tommy winds up dealing with it as the way that Tommy deals with it. I highly, highly suggest you go watch the video. I think it's classic Tommy C. And I think that Tommy did a fantastic job. So anyway.
I'll play the rest of the clip. We didn't even get to the good part.
What's the good part? You want to watch some more of it? We can.
Yeah.
Everything from my
I've conceded to that too. Let's talk about you, Harley. I've conceded that I'm a loser. I've conceded that I'm a bad person. Let's talk about you.
You're a loser.
Let's talk about you. No, we're not going to talk about your fuck up, are we? We're not going to do it. You're afraid, aren't you? I've already conceded.
Afraid of talking about what?
What do you think you're here for? Are you that dishonest? What do you think you're here for?
No, I came here because you made a whole fucking waiting room to talk about my tweet.
No, I didn't. I've been doing this show for fucking 10 years. What are you talking about, you egomaniac?
Right, you posted a thumbnail with my tweet on. Was it fucking 2012? You think people are excited that you're talking to Harley? You fat dummy.
What are you talking? No. This isn't about me. This is about you. I've conceded to everything. I'm a clout. All right, Harley. I'm a clout whore too. I'm a clout whore too. I've conceded. Let's talk about you fucking this up. I've conceded everything bad about me. I've conceded to everything. You're right. You're right about everything.
Because of you.
Let's.
I'm not here
did I listen? Every charity I've started, I've actually made money for every charity that I've actually set out to make money for. I've never failed.
I made $1.3 million for charity.
Yeah, that's great, but you fucked this up and you use this as you were a good person. You're Charlie. Shut the fuck up for a second. You use this. I'm gonna mute you if you're gonna play this game.
Okay.
All right, I will. I will. You use this. You behave like Harley. You're not that big a celebrity.
So anyway, that's what it just kept going on and on and on. And like I say, Tommy ultimately deals with him in the way that Tommy deals with him, because Harley was not going to address it.
Also, to point out in this, when he says you made a whole fucking waiting room, he's referring to Discord. He thinks that Tommy made a Discord, Tommy's Discord was only created to talk about this.
Yeah. But that just shows you how stupid he is. I'm sorry, but he's just anyway. All right, so we got another caller. All right, King Brick, what's going on, my man?
Well, first, I'd like to say the waiting room Tommy did create for Harley. Tommy does create rooms for people. I have a whole room, and they're named after me.
Well, yeah, but that's to keep other people being exposed to you, Brick. I mean, come on. Well,
That's for everybody else's safety.
Yes.
So, if I'm getting this right, they didn't make any money for charity at all.
They lost $250,000, dude.
Yeah, Brick, can you turn up your volume a little bit? They're having trouble hearing you.
Oop, is that better?
There we go.
That's much better.
There we go.
So they lost money on that?
Yes.
So nobody got paid in charity?
No one got paid.
Hold on, Brick, take over my spot of being insane. I gotta go take a piss.
There was one charity that was guaranteed 100K.
Did they pay that? So they paid the one charity 100K out of pocket.
that was guaranteed. But everybody else, and I don't know what charity that was. But I do remember them saying or seeing an article or a video, whatever, where they talk about one charity was guaranteed 100,000 and they were giving it. But it's worse than that. And I don't know how long you've been watching, Brick, but we went through the roster, right? Each one of the boxers was given a $20,000 stipend. That's straight from
I saw this. Wait, they were supposed to get 20K. So Harley only got 20K?
Oh, no. They also got a percentage of the pay-per-view sales.
Yep. But they've lost money.
Okay, but here's the deal. Here's the deal, right? So they have operational costs where it says, okay, we expect X amount of dollars that we're going to spend, and then we expect a certain amount of proceeds the proceeds, right, which is above what the cost to put on an event was, those proceeds was what was supposed to go to charity. So the cost of doing business, they had these expenses. So they give each one of the creators $20,000 quote stipend. I went down through we got a total list of the creators, right? That was 400, and I removed iDubbbz out of there. I didn't even count him. But just to give all the celebrity boxers that were going to come in and box the $20,000 stipend, that was $460,000.
So they lost all their money on giving them these stipends.
So they gave almost $500,000 to the boxers, or off the top, right? They paid them right off the top $460,000. Then they, of course, they had to rent the venue. They had to have all the production crew and all that stuff to stream and do all that, right? Then they had the lodging for the people, right? Transportation for the people to get them to the event, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm sure they had catering and all that kind of stuff, right? I don't know what the entertainment, the MCs for the night, there were several of them there that night as well. I'm not for sure if they were paid or whatever, right, to MC and to do the play-by-play, type people. And then each one of the boxers was given a certain percentage, and I don't know what that percentage was. Ian just said they were given a percentage of the pay-per-views. He blames the reason why that it didn't make money was because people pirated the event. They had half of the pay-per-view sales as Creator Clash 1 did. And they blamed pirators pirating the event. And they're saying that's why they lost money.
Yeah, but I mean, but they sold out. It looked like they sold out the arena, right?
Sure. Sure.
But that's the thing, right? If you're already paying talent too much money, like no matter what, you're never going to be able to make that money back.
And we don't know how much, but here's something else. We don't know how much this cost, but then they had an after event for all the competitors to process their trauma, because after Creator Clash 1, everybody left, and Ian was left there in the hotel room by himself to process his trauma by himself, and he didn't like that. So they had a special event after this one that they paid for, so all the creators could go in there and process their trauma together.
Well, I mean, not all of them got beat up like Ian did twice. So I mean, they didn't all need that trauma, that trauma counseling at the end.
But what trauma? What medical? Did they have medical people in there putting methylate on their cuts and scrapes and bruises and ice packs. I mean, what fucking trauma? To me, the way he made it sound, it was like for psychological trauma. The fuck?
I mean,
That's fucking hilarious, though.
No wonder why they lost the money. Because look, even if they had half as many people, what they made like $1 million last time. Like how much if they lost $250,000 and they made half, then they lost half of it, right? So they were just gonna break even at $250,000. No, so you're saying they made $500,000, $1 million last time, and they spend all this money on this other stupid shit. I saw like when I watched that night of, I saw they had those like light up wristbands, and I said, hey, this is for charity. Like that's cool and all. Like, and if you were gonna go see like a Disney on Ice or something like that, and you paid a lot of money, they gave it to you. Yeah, that's cool. But I'm like, how much did those cost? $50,000, $60,000.
Well,
you know,
I want to bring something back home here, right? They were $250,000 in the hole. They spent $460,000 just in stipends.
Yeah, he's shocked, dude. He lost for words.
The whole thing, the funny thing is, and I guess it's like they all got behind the mirror of like, oh, well, we're doing this for charity.
But
and
they
then it got
didn't.
to their head. Yeah, they got to their head. They went and they turned down money. They alienated people. They kicked out Froggy Fresh.
Yep.
And they soured the whole event before it happened because now instead of people just watching it and it being a space for everybody to go and enjoy and see their creators, they added some BS internet politics to it.
Yep.
You know, who wasn't like there were people who weren't allowed in on site, right? It wasn't like Sam Hyde and those people. They weren't even allowed to go to the thing.
Yep.
So you know, and look, Sam Hyde then put on Fish Tank, made a ton of money. Right.
Yep.
Right after that, you know that money is there. If people liked iDubbbz and wanted to support him, you know, he would have made that money back.
They would have probably liked him if he didn't say he hated all of his fans. You know.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, the way I look at it is, you have iDubbbz who turned away all of his fans. You have these people who were like big on YouTube, you know, Harley and stuff like that, who talks down to people like who he sees as smaller than them. They calls them clout chasers and stuff. And then they go and they hide behind the fact that they're doing charity. They're trying to pretend like they're better people. I mean, Harley seems like an asshole. You know, I looked at it. Didn't Keemstar try to get Harley a fight, and Harley like got him a fight for $200,000, something like that, and Harley turned it down because he said, I'm not doing that, paying that, getting, you know, that's not enough money for me to do that to get beat up. How much money did he make from this thing? Did he just make a percentage? You know, because he was their whole spokesman too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd like to see how much Harley, if they lost $250,000, did Harley walk away with $250,000? Is that all his?
No,
did he take the charity?
I don't reckon it was. I think the issue was just in general, they paid too big of a bag to every single talent, and then on top of that, for some reason, they took part of the profits that were made to give to the talent. And however much that was, that's probably what Harley got, but that's incredibly mismanagement of charity.
Yeah, well, somebody did. They could have got away if they gave each of them half of that, right? They would have gave them $10,000 base, and then whatever they profit, give them money on top of it.
How many
but they would have broke even, and they would have had money to pay for charity, right? Because if they all had half, it was about $500,000, and they were $250 in the hole. That would have covered it. They would have broke even right there.
I don't understand why they were given anything. I don't understand why they were paid anything. If this was truly about charity, then their time, their effort, their energies, everything would have been given voluntarily. They would not have received any type of compensation. Their time was their gift, their donation to the charity. Why should they get paid for doing charitable acts?
That's a very good point. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that is like a thing.
What?
Well,
getting paid to do charity?
I mean, yeah, it is.
I mean, I would say this. I could see that for the fight, to make sure you get them in boxing shape and that, you give them a little stipend beforehand.
I mean, could you imagine like getting someone like Boogie up there without paying like for his his training?
Boogie didn't fight for charity though. Boogie fought.
No,
for
I know.
I'm regular...
just saying. Like,
but that's okay. Here's
the best performance. You're probably gonna have to do that.
Okay, but here's the difference, right? If you're marketing an event as a charitable event, then everything should go to charity. Your participants, your people in attendance, whatever, should not be being received any type of paycheck other unless they're working the event themselves. Like you got people, you hire a company, production company, to come in to stream it, to run the cameras, whatever.
Talent is working as well. You got to recognize that.
The talent is giving their time for the charitable event. They don't get paid for that shit. Get out of here.
That's what it says. We're not supposed to be giving. They are giving. It's supposed to be both ends. If we're going to give money to charity, they're supposed to give their talents to charity. You know, that's their match.
Toxic, they said all proceeds were going to the charity. So basically anything above any profits that they made went to charity. They made no profits, so no charities got money. That's why iDubbbz did a 24-hour stream receiving donations. But here's the problem with that. Because the way it was set up, you cannot list multiple charities. So he could not actually put all those different charities for people. So he funneled it into one. And now that one is supposed to divvy it out amongst other charities. And I don't even know if all the charities that was supposed to initially receive money, because each one of these creators had a charity that they wanted, that they designated that they wanted their percentage or whatever to get. So we're not even for sure if all the charities that were originally identified will actually be getting anything. This thing was fucked from beginning to end. And now they're trying to do this after action to try to make it look less horrible on them. That's all this is. And
they spent all their money putting on the show. They didn't make sure that they made money for charity. That's what they really did. Because it's not for charity. It's for them.
Yeah.
It's for them to keep themselves in the clout and to go and say they're doing stuff for charity. The charity
there are always people who get paid off of charity, though. I'll say that much.
Well, sure, but can I say, like, I wonder if the reason he had to come out and like do this whole thing is because this creator clash had a lot of like negative press and connotation with it, so he knew people were going to look into it. And this was preemptive, because the reality is, like, even, you know, it was said a lot of people would not have paid for this were it not because it was a charity. Like, you can say, like, if this had just been any event and the creators had been paid normally, then that would have been fine. But that's not how it was pitched. Also, one can argue, well, the creators were paid for their time as you would pay a performer at a charity event. Sure, but that's not how they were pitching it in their own videos. In their own videos, they said, I am doing this for charity. I am donating my time, my face, my name, whatever, to charity. So that should include your time, your training, your transportation, all that stuff. Otherwise, what did you
if they made it out to be like that, then you're absolutely right.
But they did make it out to be like that. Look at them.
I didn't see it because I didn't fucking pay attention to any of the creators because I didn't know any of them.
Who was the blonde one who like came out specifically against Froggy Fresh and said, no, that was not the case. Like, my understanding, he was given the stipend for his training, but I was not given that. Like, and I don't know this creator's name, but she said very clearly, like, we're doing this for charity. We're here donating our time for charity. And now that's money that's not being given to the charity. And I'm like, so now I'm wondering, okay, so did you give your $20,000 to charity then? Because if you used it for training, then what did you, ma'am, donate to charity exactly? Because from my vantage point, they just did a job. And so what are they getting praise for? That's like if you praised me for clocking in at McDonald's, like, oh, okay. I could, that's what we're doing now.
If it all went to the boxing, I could see them giving a stipend for it, right? I could see them giving, like, hey, we're looking to put on an event. We want to make sure these people get in the ring and they know how to fight, and so it's an event for people to watch. Like, they have the job to balance of putting on a good show, right, and putting on a spectacle for everybody to watch and come back and watch the next year.
And that would be fine
right?
if it were a normal show. But it's a normal show.
They
But
went
it's-
all in on They got a nice arena. They did it right. They did it big. They had a lot of like light shows and stuff like that. They spent all the money. You can see they spent a lot of money making the show look, the
But
graphics,
nobody's
everything.
bitching about the operational costs. What people are bitching about was the emphasis on charity and the fact that these creators have gotten clout as if they were donating their time to charity, and they didn't do that. They did not donate their time to charity. They were paid for their time, just like any other performer would for any other event. If they were just putting on a boxing match and nowhere on this did it say charity, nobody would be upset about this. Nobody's here saying, well, the stadium costs too much money. The only thing people are really arguing about right now is that these creators were paid and that wasn't explicitly stated. And these charities didn't get any money out of this. So what was the point?
I don't have an issue with the stipend they were paid or whatever. I have an issue with the fact that proceeds afterwards were taken off when they said all proceeds go to charity.
I have an issue with the clout associated with doing things for charity. Which, if you're gonna donate, just donate. Like, don't talk about it unless you have a good reason for doing so. And I don't. What was the reason? Like, why was this a charity stream? What was the point of marketing it as a charity stream? The point was to donate, to get people who normally wouldn't buy a boxing event to buy a boxing event.
I know this is gonna sound incredibly like I'm a capitalist pig. I'll just make it clear right now I'm socialist. But have you guys ever heard of like the Elon Musk pizza theory?
The Elon Musk pizza theory. What is that? Seth?
Yeah. Okay, so basically, it could be said, or at least like a bunch of people were saying, one of the reasons why a lot of millionaires stay millionaires is because they kind of leech and don't use their own money. So what Elon Musk would do was that he would go to people's parties and eat their pizzas and leave, so he didn't have to spend money on food. And if you're a creator and you're looking to make more and more money, it's the same kind of thing. Even if you want to help charity or whatever, you're not gonna do it without any kind of money. Especially not if you're not Elon Musk.
But they are also already getting money because those additional eyes and attention, it for their career specifically translates to money. Like in my career, me doing Creator Clash would do nothing for me. It would not cause a direct increase in my income because I'm a salaried employee. They got paid in exposure in addition to the $20,000, and they also got paid in tax cuts. Like, even if they hadn't gotten the 20K, they still got paid. So I don't understand how you're there.
But I don't know if I agree completely, because first of all, like, just in general, if I'm spending my time on something, I want to get paid. And it doesn't matter what it is, and I'm sure they see it the same way. But also,
well, then you should fight a Happy Punch fight and not a Creator Clash fight, because Creator Clash is sold to be.
Yeah. But also, if you
doing
only have the option, there's only so many cards on each of these events. You take the one you can get first of all.
I don't know. I feel like there's some internet politics to it, and a lot of people, if they want to go and pretend to be nice, they go and they get with iDubbbz and they pretend they're doing stuff for charity. And it really is a similar thing to Happy Punch.
I don't believe that anyone behind the scenes actually thought this was for charity. To be fair,
I mean, here's the thing: is it's this. They thought it was for charity, but it's their second thought, right? Because if the charity was the first thing, they'd have been crunching the numbers and seeing, all right, we're gonna make this much for charity if we sell this much. Like, they should have known. Like, they know how the internet works. And on top of it, they didn't curate an environment where they could make the most money.
I'm sorry, but you're right. It's fucking easy, and that's why I don't believe that it was ever done for charity.
Either they thought they were way better than what they were, right? Or maybe they really did underestimate.
When those numbers break, there's no possibility.
Yeah, well, unless they were really cocky and thought they were going to make a lot of money.
No, you can't be that cocky, okay? That's brain dead.
Well, how much do they make in total? If they were making five, I mean, because if they're making $5 million, what's $250,000? So that could be like a little error. I could see that as a calculation.
500,000. First of
I
all,
thought they were $250,000 in the hole though. Like
they're $250,000 in the hole, but they paid their creators $460K.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It was a second thought, right? If they only made $50,000, they'd be like, "Well, it was for charity." We never would hear this. They would, if they would have still spent, they would have spent all the money. They would pay off the creators, right? Because it's there, so they can go and throw a promotion, an event that keeps iDubbbz relevant.
You don't even
he's like this ringleader, right? He's not. He threw off all his old fans, but now he's the PC internet guy, right? And it really isn't up for him about charity. It's about him staying relevant. Because what else does he do anymore? So this is his thing. He throws a big event, but instead this year he got political, or not even political. This split with Froggy Fresh, and then he soured a lot of people. People didn't come back and watch. And it was never for charity. They never were thinking about for charity. It just happened. They probably made a bunch of money, and they could sell it as a charity thing, so people who wouldn't watch boxing tune in and watch. People who want to see their favorite creator go tune in and watch. And I agree with Gigi and all them. They're getting paid in clout capital in that exposure. So,
but it's honestly.
But I agree.
Like this,
they should have gotten paid for
people
the boxing.
only tune in to see the people that they actually already know and like.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It doesn't give that much clout capital.
Well, I don't know. I feel like because it depends if you sit how you do it. Because you could sit and watch the highlight, or there's some people who sit and watch the event. I mean, that's I guess how much do people sit? That's getting into how much people sit and watch boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people definitely also had like parties, or they watched it so that their friends could talk about it. Like
they got Asmongold and Amaranth as the announcers. Right, so they had, like I said, they throw a big production on for all to, attract everybody who's gonna watch Twitch and be involved in this internet sphere. And they hide behind the charity thing. They say everybody else is mean or that's why Tommy was having that discussion with Harvey like that, because he's like, all right, look, let me get out of the way. I'm an asshole. You're a good guy. You're doing charity. But when it comes down to it, these are the facts. Because Harvey likes to go and say, well, I'm doing it for charity. I'm not a bad guy. We're not bad guys, and they turned down money. Like people would have gave what $100,000. How much did they offer to get Froggy Fresh back in the event?
Gideon,
like 200.
Gideon offered $100,000 if they would let Froggy get back into the event. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's how much closer to them, breaking even and making money for charity, and they didn't care. The charity is a second thought. Yep. Everything else they're putting on a show first, and the charity is a second thought to them. And now it turns out that hey, they went and they talked all this stuff the past few months, saying about how Sam Hyde's a bad guy and Froggy Fresh is a bad guy. But when it comes down to it, they didn't do their job, which was supposed to give money to charity. And they went and they bragged to everybody else that they were doing it the entire time.
So here's the question. Are you guys ready for Creator Crash 3? Because we've already started getting talent lined up for Creator Crash 3. Did you guys know that?
I heard.
How much they pay in each of them? What,
don't know,
again?
but so far, Leafy says, I accept iDubbbz' boxing challenge and will be training with Sam Hyde. Ian's spokesperson, Anisa, says, we can have a contract for you, but there will be drug testing done by the commission and a severe no-show penalty if you're serious. He says, I would not pass the drug test and would need at least 5 to 12 years to train as advised by my trainer. But I am serious about this and think we should meet IRL to discuss the details.
Dude, Leafy is such a fucking
5 to 12 years.
And
but
then,
I thought he doesn't work with Sam Hyde. I thought he wouldn't take anybody who works with Sam Hyde.
Well, and let me switch. I have to change windows here for you guys to see this other one. I have to do this in incognito because iDubbbz has me blocked for whatever reason. He blocked me on Twitter.
Well, he proves you have clout because I haven't been blocked by iDubbbz.
Okay.
Yeah, what are the DMs? What did you say to him?
I've never talked to the man in my entire life. I don't even think I ever tweeted at him about anything negatively about this. I'm sure you ran some bot and just blocked people who maybe followed.
No, He
That's
probably
too
tuned in one day when you were talking
That's
about
it. That's
Froggy
it.
Fresh, and he said,
Mhm.
you know, I don't like this Peapod guy.
Yeah. So iDub says Creator Clash 3 makeup iDubs versus transphobic Leafy. So because Leafy, of course, has been streaming over on what is it? I think is it Kicks? Kick, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's on Kick.
Well,
he's all messed up, isn't he? I thought, isn't he? The big thing is he's always messed up on drugs.
I think he smokes. I think he smokes a little bit of weed. I think he does smoke a little weed. So.
Just a little, though.
He does the full.
Oh, does
full
he?
lineup.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, whatever. I mean, that's fine. So, I'm ready to move on. I've got one last topic I want to talk about today, but I'll give you guys a chance to have your closing thoughts on this. So we'll just kind of go around the ring or whatever, and I want to move on. So.
Yeah, there's just it's really funny. You know, it's not funny that people are losing money. You know, when you say they raise money for charity, you want people to give money for charity. But it is funny, like Tommy said, you have people who are going and saying they're doing stuff for charity, acting like pompous assholes, and then you know it turns out they couldn't even figure out and budget right to give the money to charity. You know, that. I don't know. People should look at that, and that's. I don't like iDubbbz because of that. And for a few other reasons.
Okay, well, I never thought it was about charity looking at the numbers. And I don't have a problem with paying talent, but I have a problem with saying all the proceeds afterwards go to charity and then they don't. That's incredibly misleading for the people who actually paid money.
Yeah, but they never made any proceeds. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, obviously, there's that's an issue in budgeting, but talent issue.
You know what? Here's if you hire, okay, and as far as paying the talent, here's my counter to that. If you're having a charitable event, and let's say you're going to have vendors there to sell food or whatever, yes, they need to get paid. If you're going to hire musical entertainment to come in and entertain the crowd, okay, fine. Pay them if they don't wish to donate their time. Okay, no problems there. If in a situation like this, you're going to have it live streamed, you got to have a crew there to run the cameras, the control booth, to select the different camera angles, so on and so forth. Should they be paid? 100%. The people who are coming in to perform the boxing events, things like that, should they be paid and compensated? In my opinion, no. Period. If you wanted to put on an event afterwards as a thank you for the competitors, whatever, so they could process their trauma, fine. But I don't think it comes out of the operational budget. That should be something that you get sponsors to pay for. Or something like that, and it should not have ever been part of the actual overall budget or equation. You should have it where that cost you very minimal money to actually put on the event to ensure that you have maximum profits to be able to give to these charities. And the problem about it is when you have people out there who self-prescribed or not as the spokesman for this event, which is what Harley, Epic Eats became. He was out here touting from the very rooftops about how this was charity, how them doing this was, it was all for charity, and how they're such good people because they were doing this for charity, only to find out that in total, these guys were paid by Ian's own mouth, said they were each given $20,000, totaling to $460,000. And they were also given a percentage of the pay-per-view, which means even more of the proceeds, whatever, was going to be taken away from the charities to be, again, put into the back pockets of these, quote, creators.
I'm not going to reiterate it because we're having this same argument. But for most events, live events that go to charity, talent is paid, and that doesn't matter if it's a concert or a band or whatever. Talent is usually paid.
Well, then it's not a charitable event, in my opinion. There you go. That's my thoughts on it. So
no, it's really not. Most charity events aren't charitable events, and that's the truth of it.
Then they shouldn't be marketed as such. Gigi, you have any closing thoughts?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
Okay. Well, Brick, I appreciate you calling in, buddy. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me, brother. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Yeah. All right. So I've got one last little thing that I want to kind of go over here real quick. So tier list. Tier lists seem to be a big thing again. They kind of died out and then we're making tier lists again. So imagine my shock and surprise when I'm scrolling through Twitter today and I see this from my co-host, Seth, saying unbiased men's tier list.
Why are you blindsiding me with
just
this? This
because
wasn't
I can.
In our meeting.
It's true, it wasn't.
Because I can. So let's go through this list request. Best man. Willie Mack. I don't know who this person is. Vault. Okay. Valid Creations. Keemstar. Joey Westside. Milltown's Best. Super Dave. Doug. Max. Tommy C. Banana. Badwick. I don't know who this person here is. Wilbur. Vega and Bo Blacks. He's cool. We have Mickey Mitch, Nerdy John, Matt Pitt, Kristen Ark, Nicholas Diorio, Turkey Tom, and Dead on Dave. Is Core, 8030, AC, Def Noodles, and Mike the Bike. Get him away from me. Beavers, I don't know who this person is.
That's Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson. That's oh shit, I can't remember his name.
Austin No Powers.
Austin No Powers. P. Paul, Edwin, Shadow Humor, Salvo Pancakes. Is that supposed to be Tipster?
Yeah, that's Tipster.
John Swan, Toxic Piplup, and Who's John? And then who even are these? You have RFC, oh God, what is it? Dumpy and Parking Tigers.
Interesting.
Yeah. What about
I'm not. I try not to be egotistical, but I have to ask you, why do you have me in the same rating as people like Salvo and Edwin and Tipster and Hoochin?
Because you're sort of like, birds of a feather people.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'd like to point out that as the non-white member of the podcast, that putting people up on a
Jews
stage,
don't count as white, by the way.
That putting people up on a stage and grading them like this, reminds me of a time that was long ago, but perhaps not that long ago, and I disavow.
Okay, well, my people were shoved in ovens and killed, so I don't know, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring up my fucking oppressed card, okay?
Okay, I don't have
Bring
one.
up you can bring up your oppressed card, but I'm mixed, okay? So I am oppressed as a black person, I'm oppressed as a Native American, and I'm oppressed as a Hispanic and a woman and a queer. You want to fight me, Seth? You want to fight me?
Yeah, so I want to fight you.
Where's Clown at in this? I didn't see Clown listed.
Okay, how about you look at the replies?
I hope you perish.
Yeah, that's where he is.
But that's not even on the list.
No, that's below the list.
It's below. Okay, so he's not even on the list.
He's in the I hope you die category.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough. That's your opinion.
Yeah, what is your issue here? I don't see the issue.
I just don't know why you want to get away from me. What is it that you think I should be?
I don't know. I just feel like
banished?
you've been really mean to me recently, people.
Oh, you think I've been mean to you, Seth?
Yeah, you've been real mean to me recently, people.
Little girl, you ain't seen nothing then.
Okay, so you're just
Speaking
like
of,
proving my point here. You're fucking like Tommy right now, just saying like, yeah, I am a fucking loser.
Yes.
So speaking about men
That's
telling
fucked up.
women what to do on the internet, can we talk about Keke Palmer and Jonah Hill real quick?
Sure, you got links
Absolutely
for me to look at?
fucking not.
If you go into Twitter and just type in Keke Palmer, it'll come up. But I'll sum up both of the things that are going around
Okay,
right
can
now.
you sum up who the fuck is Keke Palmer?
So Keke Palmer is an American actress. She's a black woman, quite attractive. She's been on TV for a long time. She was like a Nickelodeon kid and all that kind of stuff. I think the most recent thing I saw her in was that Alien movie by what's his face. You know the one, that one. And so recently there has been this thing with her because her baby daddy, because I don't think they're married, but she had a kid with him in February, blasted her on Twitter for being overly affectionate with Usher during his residency in Vegas. And yeah, and he said that he basically, I think you could pull up the tweet of what he said, but he basically said
this is not the one, right?
No, that's the one. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
okay.
the Jonah Hill thing.
Jonah Hill. So she's dating or
No. They're related for. Hold on, let me get there. So
okay.
He's saying that. So he is stating, "This is my wife. I don't like how you're behaving because you're a mother." Cut to Jonah Hill for his part. His recent girlfriend or person he was dating, quote unquote, exposed him for a tweet where he listed what he expects out of a relationship, and many people are calling that abusive, while other people are saying he is just saying what kind of relationship he would like. So people, if you want to read that text right there.
Okay, so he says, plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or a coffee or something respectful, I'm not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings, but these are my boundaries for romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on these ways, these actions have hurt our trust. Okay.
So also, Keke Palmer's partner also came out and he got a bunch of hate for putting down his woman who recently had a baby. And by the way, looks fantastic. I don't know if you have her on the screen right now, Peepaw.
This is her, I guess, was Usher.
Yes.
And she's wearing this, I don't know what that would be called, like a black.
Like a leotard bodysuit.
And she's got this mesh
see-through
or see-through dress underneath it. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything wrong with this. I mean, it's a little bit more probably, but again, I'm very conservative. I don't know if I would want my wife out in something like that. But I guess if she felt comfortable wearing that and whatever and wanted that attention.
This is even more covered up than a swimsuit, though.
It kind of is a swimsuit in a way, because I've seen people wear sheer like this over a swimsuit type, you know.
Okay, yeah. So you would, I mean, it's not, to me, it's not that scandalous. I'm gonna be honest.
But
I'd let my woman wear
but
it.
if I'm not mistaken, when she turns around here, because I'm not sure, I think he's singing, so she's kind of, you know, up against him or whatever. You know, that's a little bit, I think, much. But
I mean, yeah, but that's how she's acting. That's not the clothes, right?
That's a bit much. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would have a problem. I would have a problem with my wife going out with her ass hanging out like that.
You know what?
Call me whatever.
Their own.
Well, right. So he had a second tweet, and I sent you the tweet in the topic talk of the first one. It is the outfit that he has an issue with, which makes sense because she's an actress. So presumably she's getting closer than that with people on set and stuff.
Sure.
But see, he says, it's the outfit though, you a mom. So first of all, I have a big problem with people shaming mothers for how they choose to dress. But he came out and then secondly said, you guys think I'm going to come out here and apologize. And I don't. This is my family. This is my woman. And this is like what I expect was basically his, this is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. Which is kind of what Jonah, I mean, I don't know that Jonah Hill himself has made a statement, but a lot of people are saying, you know, yeah, he has this long list of requirements, but those are his requirements. And in the rest of the tweet, he's like, you know, if you can't accept this, go on and live your life, which I think is fair. Do I like it? Would I accept that? Hell to the fuck no. But it's not like when I'm in a relationship, I don't make compromises or adjustments for my partner. Is that not what everyone does? It seems.
No, not at all. You cannot have any type of meaningful relationship, long lasting, if there's not compromises. It cannot be one person's way, because here's the thing. If a guy goes into a relationship and says X, Y, and Z, this is it. If you don't succumb to this, then he's labeled a misogynist. He's labeled several different things, right? For a woman who come in and say, I'm going to dress the way I want to dress. I'm going to act the way that I want to act. I'm going to be able to do this, whatever. Why is that not just as toxic? Why is that not just as whatever, I don't know what the proper term is, as womanistic or whatever, since we can't use chauvinistic or misogynistic? Why is that not the same thing? One of the things that I always told my sons, you know, because they're dating age and they're trying to look for that significant other person, a relationship has to be about compromise. You have to be able to come to some grounds of middle ground and on everything. If you cannot, and there's certain things, it's like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. This is not a hill worth dying on for me. It's not that big of a deal. But then there's some things that this is a hill worth dying on. And if you cannot come to that middle ground, then it's best that you part ways. But it cannot be my way only. Period. It just can't be. And if you have that mentality, maybe that's why you're having problems with relationships. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'll read what Xylee wrote in the chat because it's actually the point I was going to make. I think it's funny that these guys switch up on the women once they start dating, even though it's part of what they like when they saw/met them. People aren't ready for that convo. And I think that that's the case. Like Keke Palmer has always been like a very sexy woman, and but now because she's a mom, he expects her to like. I guess that one could say, well, now that you're a mom, you're expected to act differently. But I don't know that that has ever been like necessarily a woman's expectation versus a man's expectation. Like I think, especially now, what women have been trying to do is show that women can be mothers and be sexy and be successful and be anything they want to be. And while I don't, firstly, he put it on Twitter. So can I just say he's wrong for that one, regardless of anything else? Like, why are you putting our business on Twitter? Like,
hang on. First of all, he didn't put it on Twitter. This R&B Radar put it out on Twitter.
He tweeted that. No, he tweeted.
Okay, so he didn't. So he didn't quote tweet it. That's not a quote tweet.
No, I'm not saying the outfit, but the shaming. He could have, like, if this was I would expect my partner when I come home to say I didn't like that. I wouldn't expect for him to tweet me. Excuse me.
Okay, like, so I want to address the statement that Xylee made because I'll have the conversation. I don't have a problem having the conversation. Yeah. If guys go after women who are dressed a certain way and that's what they seek, and then they later on say, no, I don't want you dressing that way because they're in a relationship or so forth. They don't want them out there doing that. Then 100% they're out of pocket. No problems, right? If that's what if you're seeking that type of behavior in a woman, then, and I'm not saying the behavior is wrong. I'm just saying that's what they do, right? Then you can't automatically start saying, no, I don't want you dressing this way. No, I don't want you going to the clubs. No, I don't want you doing X, Y, and Z, right? Why would you expect them to be any different from, if that's what you sought, then that's what they are, right? Okay, so yeah, that's wrong. Guys shouldn't do that. But on the same sense, if you want a woman who's going to be modest, who's going to dress modestly and stuff, right? Then that's what you should be seeking. For this idea that a woman, just because she has a child, all of a sudden she's supposed to act a certain way or behave differently, or whatever. Nah, that's not a thing. Because, you know, listen, if I don't know. All I'll say is what you seek, that's what you're going to find. And don't sit there and say after, I don't know. So
yeah, it's definitely, I will say, it does seem to be like what happens the most with people, that they get together and they just think, oh, this thing about them is going to change. And let me tell you, it doesn't. Like, I will say that in my own life and in the lives of my friends, like, divorce is because you thought X, Y, and Z would change. And guess what? Like, change is hard. Change is hard. And if the person doesn't want it, they're not going to do it. So, and in this case, like, my bigger issue is with the fact that he tweeted it, because I really feel like that should have been a private conversation, because
okay, I will say this. It probably would have been better to have that kind of conversation in private. Not going to disagree there. However, who's to say that they didn't and she didn't listen or she didn't agree with it? So he, out of
your next option of attack is you're gonna go shame her on Twitter.
Yeah, that's
again.
Not
that still seems like you're an asshole. I'm
not saying he's not an asshole. 100%.
Yeah,
I'm not
to mention, that's the mother of his child, and he attacked her on Twitter. He called hate on a black woman for
okay. Whoa! Stop. Let's remove and let's say he a woman. Let's not make it about the race, okay? Because there's guys that do the same thing no matter what the race is. I see this shit,
100%.
right?
However, it is notable that many surveys have been done, and hated groups in America, black women are at the top of that. That is the only reason to mention that she is black. I understand that in this case, her blackness is not directly relevant, but I have trouble believing that someone loves me and they would say something that is going to incur hate on me when I am the mother of your child. And when you know that some people, I could have done nothing wrong and will hate me anyway, and that percentage is higher because of something I cannot change, like the color of my skin. That is the only reason I mention it.
I'll just say this. But again, I'm old and I have old mentalities in a lot of ways and whatever. I just think that there is a certain way that a person should conduct themselves if they are in a committed relationship. And if you're making children with somebody, that's a committed relationship. And I don't think you dress a certain way, and you sure as hell don't act a certain way against someone of the opposite sex. Now, if my wife went out with her girlfriends and somebody came up and started serenading her like that, and she started getting up and grinding up on his ass, her next appointment would be with a fucking attorney.
Okay,
I wouldn't have it.
The difference is that's her job, though.
That's her job? To grind up on other guys?
Hold on, people. I have definitely heard you flirt with many a gentleman on your morning show, and you have told this community a number of times how you are 15 to 20% gay. Now, I would say that your wife, if this were a real life situation, would have an issue with it, but because you're a podcaster and this is all part of the persona, it's fine. And I would argue she knows she's being filmed. He's Usher. She's an actress that's been in many movies. Like, this was obviously a bit. I will agree with you that if that was my non-social wife, sure, but she's not. This is acting for all intents and purposes.
There's a difference between flirtation as part of a bit and getting up and grinding on somebody physically. I'm sorry. To me, there's a difference.
I don't know about that. I don't know how hard that grinding looked. It didn't look all that close to me. I don't know.
So how does he feel about her in movies when she's...
though.
I don't know if I've ever saw her in a movie. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, Nope. Nope was the movie she was just in, but she was also in movies. She was on Nickelodeon and True Jackson. Like she's been in a ton of things, and she's definitely been nude and whatever else in those things. So presumably, and he doesn't even mention the physical contact. The only thing he mentions is the outfit.
Okay.
Because so.
I'm okay.
Again,
okay, understand something. That's him. I'm saying me. Me personally. Me.
Do you think that if your wife was, let's say, to put it mildly, a C-level actress, she wouldn't, and you saw this, you would still be like, hey, she's really feeling that guy, and I'm not comfortable. Would you be? She's just building up hype.
Okay, so let me just say this: if I was to, because of the different, flirtatious, whatever, right? You brought up, 15% gay and stuff, right? As part of my shtick, whatever that I do.
We brought up your sexuality, and a ghost has appeared.
Okay, so boo. So if I was to meet up with one of the people that I flirt with all the time, Max, for example, and if I was to start in any way becoming
Cody, go away. Sorry.
Becoming sexual with him, grinding on him or grabbing his ass or smooching on him or whatever.
Only a few times. Yeah.
100%. Yes, I would expect my wife to say, "I will see you in divorce court." 100%.
But what if it was being live streamed?
It wouldn't happen.
Can I ask you?
It wouldn't happen.
Can I ask you? I want to ask you a question about this because I've been listening to this and I'm unclear. So like, do we know if there was like a conversation between these two before this,
I don't.
or like if there? Yeah, I mean, like I just feel like at some point maybe that would come up if you're the type of person to get jealous or maybe to have some sort of thought or feeling about like, hey, I don't think my spouse should be dressing like this and going, the whole like mother of my children kind of, thing. Like, I feel like that would have come up. And how about this? If he did have that conversation and she did it anyway, I think there is some argument to be made that she's in the wrong. However, if they didn't have that conversation, then he just went hog wild on Twitter on her. I would say, yeah, I mean, like, come on. Like, you shouldn't do that.
I agree with that.
That's wrong.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying was this a situation where he did talk to her in private about some of these antics or whatever, her dress, whatever, saying, hey, no, you're a mother now, maybe kind of tone it down a little bit, whatever, that type of thing. He's trying to have that conversation with her. This is speculation on my part. I don't know. I don't know this people. I don't know what conversations they're having. And she still is out doing this type of conducting herself in this manner, this way. Is he out of pocket for saying that? Possibly.
Yeah.
But if he's
can I bring something up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, just because I think it's an interesting thing. I don't know if maybe I'm an outlier for people my age or people my age and younger, let's say, because generational swings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think I have ever experienced what most people, I guess, kind of refer to as jealousy. Like I don't like in terms of a relationship, right? Like, I've been jealous before about like, oh man, that guy's got an ice cream. I really want an ice cream. But I'm saying like in terms of like I am with someone and someone is doing something with another person or something like that, and I feel like left out or feel like I've never felt that. Like, so it's hard for me to kind of relate on that level. So I just have to go like to pure logic, right? Like I wouldn't relate, like if my baby mama or my wife or whatever wanted to go up and like strip and do whatever, like unless we had a prior conversation about it where I specifically was like, hey, don't do this for X, Y, and Z reasons, maybe, because maybe there's other reasons to not want somebody to do that other than you just don't want them to be out there as like a piece of flesh for people to look at. That's the only time I would have like an issue with it. Otherwise, it would just kind of be like, I mean, whatever. Like, I know you're married to me, so I know that you're with me. Is that like? Do you think that maybe? I guess like for you, for Gigi and Seth, like, do you guys like feel that conventional sort? Because maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the disconnect.
No, I agree with you. Actually, you pointed out a scenario that I was not considering here, which is if the conversation had been a repeated conversation and he was kind of at his wit's end. I still think it's wrong to go to Twitter with it, but I could see feeling kind of at the end of your ropes and you trying
even you just saying that is admitting that there is a degree that maybe, Twitter would be an option at some point. It's like, okay, if it's the 5th time, probably not. If it's the 10th time, 20th time, okay.
I still,
by the 50th to 100th time, it's like, all right, maybe like a mock or two on Twitter just so that she can get the hint.
But the problem with that is,
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with that is
Why not?
you don't know how far that's gonna go with Twitter. And again, this is assuming you love the person. If DMax, you and I are married, I feel like there's so many steps before I pull you into the square and publicly shame me. Like, I will sooner divorce you. Do you know why? Because that's less toxic than putting you in the middle of the square for people to throw
I feel
rocks
like
at
there's
you.
just 100 things you could do before going to Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I'm saying, like,
if you're really at your wit's end, Twitter shouldn't be your last resort.
I don't know, man. I don't think Twitter being blasted on Twitter is necessarily the worst thing. I agree with what you guys are saying. I wouldn't do this to this I wouldn't do this with the set of facts that I have right now about this whole thing. But if I were at wit's end with it, I mean, I could easily see, just being like, hey, listen, you needed a bop on the nose, and I didn't know where else to do this, but you got it publicly, so there you go. Are you happy with the way that you're being portrayed right now? Like that being the thing.
I want to weigh in here on something that was said in chat. So JC said, "Who goes to Twitter if you're in a good marriage? Otherwise, you're just trying to ratio your spouse, and that's still wrong." I don't argue with that. You're
so they're
correct.
both wrong as your stance.
My point is this: everybody goes to Twitter or social media at a drop of a fucking hat anymore. It doesn't care. There's this mindset. Oh, I broke a nail.
Married,
I broke a nail. I got to go to Twitter and post a picture about it. Oh, the Starbucks didn't put enough foam on my latte. I got to go to Twitter about it.
Oh, my boyfriend's doing a charity stream. I better tell the world about how he's got diarrhea.
Yes.
No.
Or how about this?
Who do that?
My wife. I'm into cuckery, and I let black guys come and blow out her back.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
that.
I'm looking for the next one. They post. My problem is, and my statement is this: is where discretion used to be what we did as a society. We no longer do it. We post everything online for consumption because everything is content at the end of the day. Everything is content.
I know we're not talking about it, but as a quick aside, because I feel like it should be said, but can we stop telling each other when we're into cuckery? Like, I don't want to know.
It is a weird thing. Well, no, I mean, because I think that's part of it, right? I just assume whenever anybody is like outraged about their cuckoldry, it's like, okay, or cuckoldry, I guess I should say. I think that's part of it. That's like part of their kink in it.
Then especially don't bring me into your bedroom. Like, fine, do your whatever. Just, leave me. I'm just trying to look at pictures on Twitter, and I don't need to like that picture, that Adam 22 where he posts, like, it's a sweet wedding photo and he posted that thing.
Yeah,
it was upsetting. Like, I don't know this man, I don't know this woman, but like, I was like, dude, I don't,
Listen, I'm all happy for anybody who's happy, but there is something. I am not religious either, so when I say this, I looked at that, and the vibe that I get from it is like demonic. It feels gross.
It feels gross.
Yeah, it feels like there's something's wrong here. Like this is not the way that things are supposed to be. I don't know. I
don't know.
Yeah. As long as people are happy, but
I don't.
I'm not happy.
I know.
Again,
Me neither. Look at that.
Again, just for clarification points, I think it's extremely important for guys to realize this. If you're going and you're wanting to date the wild and crazy, provocatively dressed women, and that's who you're seeking, then that's who you'll find. Don't expect her then to settle down with you and start having children and all of a sudden become Mary fucking Poppins, making you tea and crumpets and having your children sitting nice and neat at the table. That's not who she is.
I've heard this expression before, where it's like men go into a marriage wanting nothing to change,
yes,
and women go into a marriage wanting to change their man to make them perfect, kind of a thing. Like that's like a gross. It's a gross overgeneralization, and I'm sure that it's not true in all circumstances. But I've heard it as like a trope, and I think like by and large, it's pretty. It's true, and you could even suss that out logically. It's like guys just want to get by. They don't want to change anything. They're happy, being schlubby, and for things to be like generally a little bit less kept. Women are a little bit more high maintenance. Not saying that's a bad thing. I'm actually saying that's a good thing. And then it ends up being the case that they want to perfect their man because there's something more that they can get, whereas like guys just want the thing. So it's like I think that these types of like clashes like this are actually fairly natural. Like that's like a very normal thing to have happened. It's just funny that like the more into the future that we get, the more we think like, oh, we've got future sensibilities. Like we should be able to outthink this. And it's like, well, no. This is why we have certain things about tradition. I think that because like honestly, even Gigi, like what you were saying before about how like you would rather divorce your man than like speak ill of him on Twitter. I know what you mean. I know what you're saying, but I would go as far to say that like actually I would prefer to do pretty much everything to my spouse before I would want to divorce them.
Whoa. Everything?
Not everything, but you know what I mean. Like, there's probably a short. It's probably a shorter list of things that I would be willing. Obviously nothing like completely disgusting or whatever. I'm just saying that like
marriage out of my wife.
Well, some people want disgusting. Some people need disgusting. I'm just saying maybe the reason the reason you're there is because she wants disgusting. You wouldn't give it to her. I would also like to point out that you just said that men generally are okay with schlubby, and let me tell you, as someone who regularly dates Asian men, you can fuck right off with that one. It's
orderliness. There's degrees of orderliness within different types of men. Yeah,
some men don't care, and some men want you on a schedule. So like,
listen, I'm high maintenance. I'm like that. That's me. But like, it's like I'm just saying that like I guess what I mean by that is more so. Again, like I don't think a man really wants to change a woman like going into a relationship. I think he's happy with what is right presently there at the moment. And I'm not saying that women don't have that sensibility too. I'm just saying that by and large, it seems to be the case that that women do want to change some aspect of their man. It's like, well, and he doesn't go out enough. I don't like this, whatever. It's like, and people just change in general too. So it is possible that maybe it's not a man or woman thing.
That is changing, because I would say that one of the biggest things that women tend to need to change in relationships is that a lot of men come into a relationship with zero emotional intelligence, and their parents, if you're lucky, taught them how to clean up after themselves, but they certainly didn't teach them how to talk about their feelings or express anger in ways that are healthy and constructive, and things like that. So maybe, but I think that maybe that's more of a gap in parenting more than it is a gap in, or necessarily
this is the gayest conversation we've ever had. This is
we
love phones.
Let me get it back to something.
Their love issues?
No, hold on, wait. I've got a love issue. I've got a love issue right here, right now. Actually, the reason why I called in was because Seth, you put Peepaw on "Get Him Away From Me."
Yeah.
So I'm in the top one, right? Like I'm in the what is it? Yeah. What's the tier? I can't remember.
Best man.
Best man. Right. Okay. Yeah. So how about this? All right. I'll make a deal with you. Okay.
No.
Well, hear me out. I will take a degradation down to if I can get Peepaw to come up a few grades.
I don't negotiate with terrorists.
I'm not a terrorist, okay? Just because I have a gun to your head doesn't mean anything. I'm not threatening you. I'm just saying that if you don't do this, I might make your life miserable on Twitter is all I'm saying. With me and my 500 plus followers and growing, at D_Max_HS over on Twitter.
How many followers did you say?
Like 500 plus, something like that.
Maybe we can work out a deal here, DMax.
No, wait, you want the clout? That's right. No, we can make a deal. Yeah, okay. Let's talk.
It's real simple. I'm quite okay with her tier list. I'm okay with her tier list.
But people, I'm not, because her tier list gives me tears.
That's fine. And here's the deal. She feels like she believes that I've been mean to her and whatever, and that's fine.
Well, you have been, but it's besides the point.
I have not. I have not been mean.
Okay, hold on. But we called up this meeting, like, what was it, like, fucking, I think it was Friday, maybe. While you were making that thumbnail for your return stream. And you were really, really mean to me, people.
How was I mean to you, Seth?
You
Wait, was
you
this
said
before or after you tore him a new one for his thumbnail?
Okay, first of all, I didn't tear him a new one. I taught him that there was something called a stamp tool, okay? That's all I did.
Well, I don't know. It sounds like you guys were ribbing each other. It sounds like you might be a little sensitive there, Seth. Have you ever thought? Oh, ooh, is it sensitive? You're sensitive? Is that what it is? You're sensitive. That's your new nickname, is sensitive.
Sensitive.
Sensitive. Yeah, that's hard to say, but sensitive. You can't say it. That's even better.
I don't know.
I'm gonna come on here and bully you, Seth. What are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna cry.
No,
don't bully
cry.
me.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm just kidding.
But Peepa was really mean to me.
Make it well. That's okay. Well, we found now that is like conjecture. We don't know if that's the case because you're saying one thing, he's saying another thing. Gigi's over here, twiddling her thumbs. Like, well, I don't know what the situation. Like, all I'm saying is that get Peepa higher up on that list, and we'll be cool.
Well, I'm frankly just dismayed that Peepaw's wife will never get to grind up on Usher because Peepaw apparently would file for divorce immediately after.
Yeah,
and I feel
he
like
doesn't
that's
want
a
her
shame.
wearing a swimsuit with her booty cheeks out.
I don't know if the mighty Mrs. Riv. I feel like if she were to do that, the static like she has so much energy that surrounds her at any given moment. There's so much like potential energy that the moment that she does that, it would just like. It would negate all of existence because every single planet would like try to collide in on like the static cling that's generated from her doing that. So I just feel like it's probably for the best that she doesn't. So that's why it's fine that Peepaw has the thoughts that he has about it. That's what I'm going with.
I really wanted to make an Usher pun. Unfortunately, I cannot think of a single Usher song. So there's that.
I don't even know who he is.
Lonely. I am so lonely. I ain't got nobody.
Did he really make
is that one of his? I don't remember.
I feel like he has sampled that, but I don't think that's.
Yeah. Well, it's not his. Yeah, that's the only part that I like of the song because I don't know the.
The part.
Do I look like a guy who would know Usher?
No.
Well, he cheated on Chili from TLC.
Ah, so damn it. Nietzsche got it. It's Akon. Yeah, you're right. That's a fuck. I don't even know who. Yeah, I don't even know who Usher is. It's a bad name for. It's a bad name for like an entertainer. This is like who's playing tonight? It's just like the Usher. Yeah, I get it. I got to get to my seat, but who's playing? The Usher. Yeah, I get it. I got to get to my seat, but like who is playing? And they're like, yeah, it's Usher up on stage. Why is the Usher up on stage? I need to get to my seat, and he needs to tell me where I'm there. How to get there. You like this Abbott Costello bit?
I appreciate about DMax is he goes so far for these bits, despite the fact that some portion of our audience is far too young to know what an Usher even is.
Well, I don't see the channel data or analytics, so I don't know what your age range is.
I'm just.
I don't know if we want to get into age range. Oh my God! Right? Yeah.
Well, we definitely have the oldest, and that certainly counts for something.
Yeah. So Seth, are you going to advance Peepaw's rating on your little tier list thing, please?
We'll talk about that later, DMax.
I hope she doesn't.
Okay.
Oh, why is that?
Because I'm a mean person. I want to keep that persona. I love it. I think I'm going to embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it going, people. I like evil people.
I'm going to enter into my what was it they would call each other? My Joker arc. My Joker arc. Yeah, I'm gonna get my Joker arc going. Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, I have a.
No, what is he doing? Kick him.
What's happening?
It's their little Joker teeth. Like you wind them up and then.
Why is it what?
Why do kids have such strange things at arm's reach? It's very interesting.
I accidentally caught DMax streaming the other day, and for some reason he has like a black cock or something.
Oh, my BBC. That's when there's breaking news. Yeah, breaking news. You bring out your BBC, show it to everybody. That's how that goes. D_Max_HS on Twitch.
And then also like one of those things where you like scream into it.
Oliver just said that Seth beat me until I cried blood yesterday.
Thanks, Nietzsche.
Did you?
No, that's Nietzsche. I know it was.
Nietzsche
Oliver would
is
never
right.
admit. See, he has one of those. No, Nietzsche or Oliver would never admit to me beating him.
Guys, I have something to report. I have some breaking news.
Are you homosexual?
Oh wait, is Peepaw about to pull out his BBC?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Game.
Let me share my screen here so that my cohorts can see this. I did something I didn't think I was ever going to have to do.
Oh no.
Yeah, I saw the tweet, people. I saw it. Wait.
Ooh.
No.
I'm evil.
Wait, so
Be real.
I'm mean.
Wow.
Okay, so all right. So first of all, I have to ask, because Matt Pitt is not present. Do you guys want to come on now recording to hash this out, or like?
No, it's real. It's real. Why did you do this, people? Unblock me.
Do you guys want to have like an off-air call so that we can try to hash this out? Or
Hey,
unplug me, dude.
I'm evil. I'm evil. Remember?
You're sensitive. You're a sensitive.
No.
Unplug me.
I'm not sensitive. I'm far from sensitive.
Per a contract that Peepaw and I signed, I'm very sorry to tell you this, Seth, but per the contract, I can't really engage with you anymore while Peepaw
Well,
has
I don't
blocked.
fucking need you. You don't reply to that pigment video I keep spamming you with.
I replied to it a few times, but yeah, I mean, I can't now. I certainly can't anymore. So, I mean, apologies.
Yeah, that's
sorry,
fucked up.
Sorry, Gigi. Your collateral damage with this. Have a good one, Clear as Mud. I like favorite comment.
That is so fucked up, dude.
Why?
This is unbelievable.
Why?
Listen,
I'm gonna start my
you
own
guys-
show, and I'm gonna call it Transparent as Mud, and it's gonna be me, and I'm gonna have more fun without you guys.
Seth, it's too early in the season for that. We have to get through at least 2 more cycles before we officially break up and unfollow each other on Twitter. And then we all have to go on all of the podcasts to talk about our side of the story.
frenemies. It has to be like frenemies. We're gonna do like fucking. These are the episodes we've done. I'm done now. I'm starting Transparent as Dirt.
But you don't even have a Domino's pizza, Seth.
I have a Domino's pizza.
Oh, me. Anyway. All right. I think I'm done.
Caller.
Huh?
We have a caller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's take Doug.
Hi, Doug. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, that's good. Me too, Doug.
Well, I do have a question. I didn't know queer was a race.
Huh?
I'm not following you on that one, Hoss.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, people, this is backfiring.
How's it backfiring?
It's less of a race and more of a trudge, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how you doing, Doug? Are you having a good day, buddy?
Yeah, just resting a lot. I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
a show with my family in a little bit.
Cool.
But other than that, yeah. Who put me on the top of the tier list? I'm wondering. Was that you, Seth?
Yeah.
It was me. Of course, Doug.
Seth's one of your biggest fans, Doug.
Aw, thank you, Seth.
You're a legend.
Thank you.
Yeah, he is a legend. I love Doug. So
Doug is suspiciously popular in this community.
not suspicious.
Suspicious?
No,
it's
Doug.
not. He's
Doug.
person.
Doug is a treasure, and he should be treasured and just admired. And if you get to call Doug a friend, then you are truly a blessed person.
You see how unanimously they did that? Always question, guys. This is where it starts.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Hey, it's me.
Now I think we're gonna have to block Gigi.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I'm not saying I'm not open to it. I'm just saying I am cautiously suspicious. I am healthily paranoid.
There is no healthy paranoia when it comes to Doug.
All levels of paranoia are healthy.
Not when it comes to Doug. I can't believe you do this.
Yeah. So, question, Doug, how's the podcast going with Dan?
Oh, don't ask him that.
Hey, wait, real quick. Hey, Doug, how's it going? You doing well?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing great. Awesome. I think actually, I just wanted to call in just to say how much I really love and appreciate Doug. You know, his like presence in the community. He's so nice. He's such a nice guy. Anyway,
Yeah, we love
fuck off,
Doug.
Clear's.
Base.
The podcast with me and Dan and Abby is being postponed because they got jobs.
Oh yeah, that'll do it to you, man, every time. So, well, hopefully you guys can get that figured out and worked out in your schedule. So, when you guys
What is this? Do we have more Doug fans in our waiting room right now?
Yes.
What's going on?
Probably. Hang on, so let me bring in JFA. Wait, how you doing, JFA?
What's up? Can you hear me?
No,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Try
can
to
hear.
steal my pizza roll, and he wants to get rid of me.
I don't know who Doug is, but I do want to put in my 2 cents. Very, very slowly. I wouldn't want this show to end, Peepa. So I need you to settle down and listen to the words coming out of my mouth.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Whatever happened to Death to Us Part, you got to give your wife some leeway here. You know, she's allowed to make a mistake, right?
No.
Not even one little itty bitty one.
No, not like that. No, But here's the thing, too, right? My wife would never do anything like that because that, to me, is very disrespectful to me as a husband, and so she wouldn't do that to me, just like I wouldn't do anything like that either.
Is it that, or is it that she's just not into Usher? What if we were talking about someone a little more her taste, maybe a little Bret Michaels? All right, maybe a little.
Better not be Justin
Billy Ray
Timberlake.
Cyrus.
No, she still wouldn't do that because
Maybe a little
she.
Tom Selleck.
No, she would not. Just like, I would never do anything to bring disrespect to her either, right? So,
Stamos?
no.
Would it be disrespectful if I gave her a hug or a kiss on the cheek?
You probably would get slapped if you gave her a kiss on the cheek. If you gave her a side hug, you might get away with that. I don't know.
I don't know. How fast can you run, people?
I don't have to run fast, JFA.
Whoa. He's a stopping force. They see it, JFA?
So,
yeah.
You know
By the way,
right.
people, don't bring in Toxic. He's boring and now recording suck. Still recording. Take it or leave it. Anyway, thanks for having me on.
I appreciate JFA. You have a great day, buddy.
JFA.
Bye.
I just want to correct the record really quick. Now recording does not, in fact, suck. All right, thank you.
It does suck. It sucks horribly.
Have a good day, JFA. Appreciate your support as always, buddy.
Toxic Piplup sucks.
Okay. All right, Toxic.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty swell. How are you guys?
I'm doing great, man.
Right.
It's good to see you starting doing some stuff over on Kick, doing some streams, doing some things.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. So
We're getting the wheels turning a little bit.
Cool
I
deal.
just wanted to call and say I stand with Peepaw. I have also taken the liberty and blocked Seth on Twitter, and I think more people should.
Okay.
Oh my
All right.
God, no!
Yeah. Where did Seth
I would
go?
like to say that on behalf of Seth, as Seth is a lover of chaos, she would appreciate this.
Probably so. And she's left us. Seth has left us. Oh,
Wow.
poor Seth. Poor Seth. So
Seth, come back.
Yeah.
Love you.
hashtag Brick says hashtag block Seth.
Would you
Good
also
night.
like to pledge your undying love and devotion to Doug?
Who?
Yes, I would.
Oh yes,
Doug
Doug
is the best in the
Doug,
community.
He's probably one of the best in the community. I agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He's just an honest soul, and that's a rarity, especially on the internet. So
True.
Yes.
I try my best. I'm just me.
yeah.
Just him.
I see.
All right,
Anyway,
King.
that's all I have.
You're back again. Is there something important that you need to say?
I'm tired of people slandering Doug. All right. First, Seth makes this tier list. She did a good job with the tier list, but I mean, some of that was out of order. And you're right for being mean to Seth. You got to put her in her place. Otherwise, she goes.
God.
She goes right to her head, and then She goes nuts. Look, where'd she go? In the middle of a show. She didn't even
Yeah.
say goodbye.
No.
She already- everybody.
I always say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Doug, that's why we love you, Doug. See, you're a pillar of the community, Doug.
100%.
And Gigi, we're gonna cancel you for not understanding why Doug is a pillar of the community.
See, here's the thing. Now that Seth has left so chaotically, I'm realizing that perhaps my suspicion was just misguided, and it is in fact Seth I should be more suspicious of.
Oh, of course you gotta be suspicious of Seth. She's always up to something.
Exactly.
You know, she's always plotting. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, King. Appreciate it, buddy. Have a good one.
Team? Bye, team.
All right. Any other parting words before I get out of here, or we get out of here rather today, Toxic?
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. All right. Thanks,
Shalom.
Toxic. Make sure you guys are checking out Toxic. He's got still recording. He just did an interview, big interview, him and Liana with Edwin. And he's doing streaming over on Kick. So make sure you check him out there. Doug, what else have you got going on, buddy?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Okay.
Yeah,
well, listen,
just
Doug,
that.
as always, buddy, I appreciate your support and thanks for calling in and you have a great day. All right.
Oh, no problem. You have a good one, okay?
All right.
Riveter,
Yeah.
and by JJ Hearts, okay?
All right.
Hi, Doug.
Okay. All right. I guess on that note, I will get us out of here. Do you want to take us out of here today, Gigi?
I don't. As a parting word, though, I would like to say Edwin still sucks. In that interview, he sucked even more in that interview.
Well, there you go. So anyway, listen, guys, on that note, remember to always keep your powder dry and to look for me in the funny papers.